The Great Wall board game, a game of area control, a game of worker placement, a game for 1 to 5 players if you have the expansion, and this is going to be a full playthrough. Come on back after the break. Hey everybody, welcome out to the show Board Game Reviews. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to the tabletop gaming hobby, and this video is part of a video series looking at the game of the Great Wall. Now in this video I'm going to do a full playthrough of this game. This game generally plays from 1 to 5 players if you have the expansion, which is basically one of the Kickstarter stretch goals. I do have it, but what I'm going to do here is play a 3-player game because it'll probably be an active feudal insanity to play a 5-player game all by myself, controlling 5 factions while trying to not sound like a total blithering idiot. Okay, I can do that on my own, but when we add in 5 players, it makes it a lot easier for me to do so. Now, if you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I'll do my best to get to them as quickly as I can. You can also feel free to email me at offtheshelfboardgamereviews. That is otsbgr@gmail.com. If you enjoy the content and you enjoy the videos I put out there, think about supporting the channel over on Patreon. This channel is 100% sponsor free. That means all the content and everything you see comes out of my own pocketbook. A great way to help the channel grow is just to toss $1 in tip jar over at Patreon. Just $1 can help me cover my costs and help keep great content coming out for you. Hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy this video series. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, because your likes and your subscriptions definitely do matter here. And now let's go ahead and start the video with the Great Wall. Now we're going to start this right here with the setup. Of course, I've kind of cheated a little bit because I set up 2 of the factions already because I didn't want this to drag out really far. I just want to give you a quick overview of what the setup looks like. But I definitely want to show you what the setup looks like for 1 player. That way you can see all the great things about the game, see all the decisions that go into the game, and just see the variety that comes in the game. Because my hope is either through this video or my tutorial video to give you enough information to go and make an informed decision and see if this is going to be a game that's good for you and your gaming group. Also for this one, I got a couple different camera angles set up here. The first one I have this nice overhead camera view right here, and it's going to be set up over here with the hordes going to be coming out from this side of the board. They're going to be marching down towards this side of the board, and this side of the board is the side that's protected by the Great Wall. Well, the Great Wall, once we get the Great Wall built, that is. Next up, we have the worker placement view. This is going to be a view where you get to see everything from the worker placement side of things. So as I put out the clerks at the various different locations, you're going to see exactly how they're going to gain all those resources. And then finally, we're going to have a focus view on the blue player. The blue player is going to be the camera view that you get to see. You get to watch the blue player play through the game, make all of their decisions, and see how the interaction of the game really plays out. And I think that's going to be a great way just to see how the Great Wall plays out. But that's enough of the chitter chatter. Let's go and start things off with setting up the game right here in the beginning. So the very first thing that we need to do when we set up the game is we need to go grab all 5 of the artifact cards. Now these artifact cards are basically their end game scoring victory conditions. They're going to set up a little bit of variety for the game every time you play it. And I say a little bit of variety in a game that has tons of variety every time you play the game. And I guess this is a good time to go ahead and include the fact that I was a backer of the original Kickstarter. That means that I do have the stretch goals in here, and I do have a couple of the black powder items here. Not very many of them, because most of the black powder items do require the black powder expansion be included. So I've minimized a lot of that. Most of the stuff you're going to hear and see is possibly some pop-ups from the 5-player expansion, and maybe 1 or 2 items from black powder, but trust me, you're not going to see too many of them at all, or either with the ancient beast. So let's go ahead and look at our 5 different artifacts right here. We're going to take all 5 of these artifact cards, we're going to flip them over, and we're going to shuffle and make sure that we have a nice variety and different variety of endgame victory conditions, and we're going to draw these one at a time. We're going to get, first one is going to be the Hu Yi Bo, and of course we know I like to butcher the entire language that all human beings speak, so get ready to have a lot of fun with this one, because oh yeah, I plan on butchering a lot of words. Not on purpose, it's just something I seem to be really good at. Next up we have is the Dark Armor. I can say that one. And then finally we have the Jewel of the Nuwa. Of course, I probably did mess that one up, but you know what? Those comments down below are a great way to say, hey, this is how we actually speak, and I do appreciate the corrections. Next up, we need to set up our starting horde. Now, this is going to be a 3-player game. Our 3-player game is going to be between the Dragon Horde, which is led by Han Shi Hong. The yellow player is going to be the Snake Clan, which is going to be led by Zhang Shi. And of course, we don't know who the monkey clan is going to be led by, but we're going to figure out very shortly after we go ahead and create our horde. So let's just take the horde cards right here and let's just shuffle these up really, really quick. And I'm going to do this quickly because we're on camera and I'm not wasting your time. So the very first thing we do whenever we need to add a horde card onto the board is we pretty much start from left to right. That's the easiest way to do it. If there's any front row that does not have a card, it's going to get one immediately. If there ever comes a time where the front row is filled up, then any additional horde card is going to come out based on whatever the next card says where that card to go. So our first card is going to come out, and that's going to be in the far left road, and that's going to be pikemen. Cannot be attacked by horses. Very nice touch. Next up is going to be the Arsonist. The Arsonists effectively ignore all barricades. That makes them very, very fun. So effectively, this section of the wall has no protection at all. This is protected, unprotected, and the next section we are going to see is going to be the shield bearers. Now, the shield bearers have the ability of this horde card cannot be attacked with archers at all. So make that one extra, extra fun. Luckily, it only has an attack power of 6, so that means that this horde at the end of the first year cannot get through the wall barricades. This horde cannot get through the barricades, but the Arsonists are going to be one heck of a thorn in our side, so we better figure out a way to either defeat them or get a wall section built up there as quick as possible. This is a 3-player game, so there's only going to be 3 horde cards in there. So next thing we need to do is figure out exactly who is going to be leading the monkey clan. So again, just a quick shuffle up for the generals here, just so you know that I'm not doing any monkey business. Of course, I had to say that because it was a monkey clan. No, I had to say it, really. Bad jokes are fun. I'm a dad. Dads love dad jokes. That's why they call them dad jokes. So we have this shuffled up. I will cut this one more time on camera after shuffling it. Option number 1 is going to be Kaishong. Probably butchered that. Ability: each time a location is activated, get 2 times face down advisors in honor. There are at least 2 of your clerks in this location. Starts with a couple resources and pretty decent on the T-track actually. Next up is going to be Lumai. Each time you attack with horsemen, get 3 times your face down advisors in honor. I think I'm actually going to go with that one. I think that would be a great one to choose. The rest of these generals are going to be removed from the game. We don't need to worry about them. We don't need to worry about them popping up at all. Next up we have is we're going to gain 2 advisors. So again, just shuffling up the advisors here very, very quickly. And we're going to figure out which one of these advisors go with our chosen clan leader here. We have the Tinkerer and we have the Military Engineer. I'm going to put these off to the side for just a moment because we're going to be placing some of these out in just a second in our future purchase row. First thing we have is the Military Engineer. Each time you build a wall section, gain 1 honor for each 2 of any resource you spent from your pool, your own personal pool, which means that if you happen to use resources that came from the, not the bank here, from the, I'm going to remember the term here eventually, but I'm not going to pause the video, just get a term here really quickly. But basically, if you're not taking resources from here and using your own personal resources, and remember these resources have to be used up first, but you're going to gain honor for that, basically meaning that you could potentially gain double the honor for any one of the wall sections. That can be pretty darn powerful because some of these wall sections get really darn expensive. Doubling that in your honor, you see how you start getting a lot of victory points there. Next up is after your activation step, you may upgrade 1 overseer for 2 chi. And that means any overseer, which means that you have your overseers. Normally, these overseers that work over here in the wood area, they all cost chi to upgrade. But the overseers over here that work in your mines cost wood. Your overseers that work in the gold factories, or not gold factories, it'd be great if we had factories for gold, wouldn't it? But you know what I mean. But these cost stone to upgrade, and the ones over here in the temples cost gold to upgrade. This is basically saying that everything for this player, if I were to take that advisor, that means that I would upgrade any one of these guys for 2 chi, and that's going to be 2 chi, doesn't matter how far up the track they get upgraded. That could be extremely powerful, and I think that is actually what I'm going to take. The last thing to do is make sure that we have 30 of these shame tokens. Remember, it's 10 shame tokens per player. We are playing a 3-player game, so that means we are going to have 30 shame tokens in this game. So I'm taking Lumai. His ability is each time you attack with horsemen, you're going to gain 3 times your face down advisors in honor. So if I have multiple advisors turn face down, I'm going to multiply that. So for example, if I had 2 face down advisors and I attacked with a horseman, I would gain right here 6 honor just for attacking with a horseman. That can be pretty darn good. But I do need to make one of these to go face up so I can show you exactly which one of these is going to be my leader and my general for the Monkey Clan, at least in this game that we happen to be playing. So we will take Lumai just like that. We will take the Tinkerer, and the Tinkerer will remain face up as our face up advisor because I definitely do like that ability. And then finally we're going to place this advisor right here face down, signifying that that is our first multiplier for our advisor. We have our action cards right here. We have our units, our soldiers right here, from our horsemen to our archers to our spearmen to our clerks. And I guess this is a great time to go in and tell you that yes, I got the wooden edition of the game here in this case. I actually prefer wooden components. I prefer wooden meeples. I know a lot of people prefer their plastic, but when it comes to plastic, I want plastic miniatures in my Warhammer 40k. I want plastic miniatures in my war games. When it comes to my board games, for some reason, I just like wooden components. Wooden meeples just to me mean a better gaming experience, and that's why I backed the wooden version. It also didn't hurt the fact that it was a heck of a lot cheaper, and I'm very, very happy with my decision. So we do have our barricades already set up. The only thing left to do is a couple little quick things to do right here. First of all, I need to reveal my 4 advisors, which are going to be in the purchase row for me, and that's going to be the Lance Maker. I'll actually go ahead and read this because it's probably really hard to read these on the camera, especially the way it's faced. First one is going to be the Lance Maker. After your activation step, pay 1 chi to attack with all of your horsemen. Second up is going to be the Mercenary Captain. Each time you recruit a horseman, you may choose to place it in a rest zone to recruit a spearman and 1 archer in the same rest zone for free. That can actually be very, very powerful. Next up is going to be the Glorious Lieutenant. Each time you attack with horsemen, gain 1 tactics card. Finally, we're going to get the Wood Carver. The Wood Carver is one of the ones that's actually from the expansion. So if you don't have this in your base set, understand this is one of the expansion cards, but it says each time you upgrade one of your overseers, you can donate 1 resource besides chi, so basically 1 gold, 1 wood, or 1 stone, equal to that level of the overseer, which means you can start donating a lot of resources to the, oh my gosh, it's going to drive me crazy if I remember the name of this location here, but to this location which feeds into the Great Wall. So those are our chosen possible upgraded advisors. So we'll stick the rest of our advisors, which will be refilling that role. We'll put them off to the side. We shuffled up our tactics cards. The only thing left to do is to figure out the T order and to go ahead and gain the supplies for our Blue Monkey Clan. So for the Monkey Clan, we see that we're going to start with 3 wood. 1, 2, 3 wood. We are going to start with 4 stone. We are going to start with 4 chi. And then finally, we will start with 2 tactics cards, and we will finish them and reinforcements. Next up, we need to figure out the T order based on all of our generals. So Monkey Clan's general is 63. The Snake Clan is 36. And the Dragon Clan is going to be 72. That means Dragon Clan is the highest in the T order. They will be on top. Snake Clan will be in the middle. Actually, I was wrong. Dragon's on top. Monkey in the middle. There's a joke in there somewhere. And then finally, the Snake Clan will be all the way on the bottom. And we'll put those all in our starting T garden. That is it. That is the setup. We have placed the 3 clerks for every one of our players off to the side. We basically start with 5 clerks. And we're going to start the first year, which we signify over here, in a 3-player game. The only thing left to know is that the first year of this game, we bypass spring, we bypass summer, and we move directly into fall or autumn, whatever you want to call it, depending on what part of the world you're from. You're going to call it fall or autumn, or you may just call it something else. But in this game, I'm either going to refer to it as fall or autumn, because where I'm from, we pronounce it autumn, but I'm going to try to remember that in this game it's fall. But if I refer to it autumn a couple times, just understand why I'm doing it. But we're going to start the game in fall. So the first thing that's going to happen in the autumn is we're going to go to the give command step. So for all of our players here, we're going to go and figure out which cards they're all going to play. Now I'm going to do this super duper quickly with the other 2 units, but I'm going to look really carefully at the blue players so you can see exactly how all these tactics and these strategies play out. So looking over the blue player, we see that our general gives us ability. Each time we attack with horses, we're going to gain 3 times the amount of face down advisors we have in honor. So if we have a lot of horses out to do a lot of attacking with horses, we can get honor that way. Plus we see that we have finish them, which means anytime we attack with a horse, if we have units around them, we're also going to gain resources. And also we have the ability that after your activation step, you may upgrade anyone over here for 2 chi, and I do have 4 chi to go along with, and I actually have a whole bunch of resources, 5 gold, 4 stone, and 3 wood. And I do have my full hand of command cards because we have not had to discard any of our command cards yet. So basically we're looking at betrayal. Yeah, I have no reason to betrayal yet. Work harder allows me to move all of my workers out on the board, or I'm sorry, all my clerks on the board. I have 5 clerks, so that allows me to put 5 clerks out on the board at various different locations. I have the attack order ability, which allows me to recruit and then do 2 attacks. Not that great this early game when I don't have a lot of units and I don't have a lot of money to purchase as a barracks. Plus, don't forget the barracks is a shame location if I'm the only person to go there. Next up, we have economy. You may upgrade 1 overseer for free. We have raised banners, and finally we have despotism. Now, despotism might be good for us. I'm either looking at despotism or I'm actually looking at work harder. And here's my thought process as the monkey player. This is the strategy we're going to go and start off with right here. I know that if I attack, I'm going to gain resources. But to attack, I need to have an army to do so. So I need resources to go ahead and get that army in the first place. So I need a lot of workers. So I can either do despotism, which is going to give me 4 workers, plus I can perform an advanced activation, which is going to give me resources. That's good without having to worry about shame, because right now I don't have any way to get rid of shame. Or I can do Wood Carver, and for each attack order card on the command track, you can perform an advanced activation in any one location. Now, this could be good if we are far enough into this current game where I thought the other players were doing an attack option. And there is a lot of verbal judo involved in this game. There's a lot of times in the game where you're going, be great if somebody would do an attack order this turn, because we know that these arsonists are about to take out our wall, break down our barricades, and attack our city because we don't have a great wall there. Anybody? 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 Unfortunately, you can't see that gameplay and how the game plays like that because it'll look really weird for me to talk to myself. Really weird. So basically what I'm looking at here is I'm either looking at playing despotism or I'm playing work harder. The big thing to understand about this game is anytime you take one of your command cards, you're going to lose it, and you're not going to get it back unless you want to give up a chance to get some extra honor. The most fantastic way to play this game is if you can plan out all of your years in the perfect way and not pull back any of your cards, you're looking at a potential almost 30, or actually, what is it, 30 extra honor? Well, approximately 30 extra honor, which is a big chunk of victory points. So if I plan really far in advance, really well, I can look at some extra victory points. You'll see how that goes when we get into the second year. So basically between despotism and work harder. So work harder will allow me to move all of my clerks. What I'm thinking about is I'm going to start with despotism, allow me to move 4 of my 5 clerks, put one of my clerks over here, which allows me to buy more clerks, which means next round, when I have more clerks, the work harder power is going to be a lot more efficient for me and probably be a better card for me to have. So having said all that, the monkey player is going to play a despotism as their face down card that they are going to use as their command card. All the other players will play out their command cards also. And then once all the players have placed out all their command cards, all the command cards are going to be revealed. And we're going to see that Snake plays economy, Monkey plays despotism, and finally Dragon plays raised banners. Now in T order, we're going to put these out here on the actual order track to have these command cards go ahead and resolve. It's kind of a unique mechanic in this game, and something I actually really enjoy here. So basically, red is highest in the T order, so they need to figure out if they want raised banners to be the first, the second, or the third command card that's going to activate. And I'll place it just like that so you can see exactly what I mean here. So how badly and how important is it for them to do raised banners? Well, the thing that's going to be very important about raised banners is they know that it's going to allow them to do some recruiting without having to worry about any of the unfortunate shame tokens coming back and biting them in the posterior. They also know that if they wait a little bit, like let somebody else go before them, that person who goes before them might be able to get some extra movement, which allows them to do some extra things. But it can also allow them to lose access to what they want to do, which is go out there and attack this card really, really badly. Because basically we're thinking about getting a horse. And if we get out there and get a horse, we want to position it just right that we're going to get the most amount of resources, because we actually have a combat card we want to play. And remember, our general special ability is that each time they play any tactic card, because they're special general ability, they're going to gain 2 chi, and that's going to keep going up as we start getting more and more of our face down advisors, making us be much, much more powerful. So having said that, we are thinking that we're going to do raised banners first, which means we are going to be number 1. Now this is going to look a little weird from your side of things. This is actually the number 1 spot. This is the number 2 spot. This is the number 3 spot. Now there's only so much I can fit on the camera, and even looking at the other camera right here, you really can't get a good view of things, so I do apologize, but this is the best way we're going to be able to do this. So next up in the T stack is going to be blue. Now blue needs to decide if they want despotism to go second or if they want despotism to go last. They are actually thinking that going second or last doesn't really matter to them because they're going to get an advanced activation in any one location. And having the ability to go later could allow them to look around the board and see how things are going for them and might influence some of their decisions. The only thing they're really thinking about is gaining that 1 clerk, which is not time sensitive, and they're not looking at any of these cards as anything that they really have to have at this point. So going second or third is not that important to them, but they do have this free advanced activation. Now basically we know that as the monkey player, we need wood or we need stone or possibly gold. And we're thinking about putting a whole bunch of workers into one of those locations, using an advanced activation, taking all those resources without having to worry about getting a shame token. Plus, we don't have to worry about giving another player resources, which is something we don't want to happen. Again, this is a game, it's a mind game. We want to prevent our opponents from getting resources while we get as many resources as possible. So having said that, I think as the monkey player, we are going to choose to go second. And then finally, that means that the snake player has no choice. They get to do economy as a third action. Now that we revealed all those, now in this order, those are the cards going to activate. So let's go ahead and move raise banners down here so you can see it just on the screen very easily. And I'll show you exactly how the raise banners is going to work for. So dragon player is going to use the raise banners card right here. And the first thing it says is move up to 3 of your clerks to any location. For each despotism on the command track, move 1 additional clerk. Well, I do believe there's a despotism on the command track, which means we get to actually activate 4 clerks on our turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4 clerks. We are quite happy with this. And of course, gaining more clerks is always great, but I know what we're going to do. We're going to place 1 clerk here. We're going to place a 2nd clerk here because the second part of our card says that during the activation step, each of your clerks in the barracks counts as 2. This means I can possibly gain up to 4 army soldiers onto the board. And again, we do have this horrible Arsonist card right here, which I'll slide down here for you and see just how nasty the Arsonist card is. We see there's lots of spaces for our soldiers to go onto, and they ignore all barricades. So we're worth 6 victory points and has attack power 6, which means as of now, if we don't get these guys defeated, they're going to bypass our barricades because they're going to set them on fire, and they're going to do a whole bunch of nasty things to us. So we definitely want to get them taken out as quickly as possible. There are 2 of our clerks. Now we have 2 of our clerks left over. We know that the blue player is going to do an advanced activation. So our thought process is to place ourselves in ways that is going to be most advantageous, thinking about what the blue player needs the most of. We can assume that the blue player either needs wood or they need gold. They need gold because they need horsemen. We know they need horsemen because that is the power of their general. The more horsemen they have, the better things go for them. Of course, we don't know what the resources are because resources are always hidden from the opponent, but we do know that they need gold. So let's go ahead and place 1 of our clerks over here on the gold. That does mean that when this location activates, even if it's their advanced activation, we're going to get a little gold. That'll make us a little bit happy. Now with our final clerk, we need to figure out what kind of resources we actually need. We know we need stone, we know we need wood, because we want to keep buying more units. I think we're going to go for wood because wood is one of the things that you always need in this game. Plus chi, plus gold, plus stone. Yeah, you need it all. And now the raised banner second part of the card is going to activate here, which says other players now get to do their activation, which is they're going to move up to 2 clerks to 2 different locations. Now this is very important. It's up to 2 clerks to 2 different locations, so they cannot go to the same location because that's illegal. And we're going to perform this in T order. So red is already playing their activation card, so obviously they're not going to do it because it's your other players. So next up is going to be the blue player in T order, and they actually have 2 other clerks here. They know what they really want. Part of the strategy is to get as many clerks as possible because the more clerks they get, the more they can use that work harder card next turn. So they're going to place 1 of their clerks right here at that location, and then they place their other clerk at any location that they really want. Now they know that they need wood, they know that they need gold. They need gold really badly. So they're going to take this right here, and they're going to place that clerk right there, which is going to be the location that's going to give them gold. Good thing about going here is we already know that there's not going to be any shame gained. Here, I'll say that correctly. We're not going to gain any shame here because there's at least one other player with the unit there. If you are the only person with a clerk there when the place resolves, you gain 1 shame token. So we want to make sure that we are avoiding it. So that is the blue player with both of their clerks. Now we're going to move to the yellow player who's next in the T order. And the yellow player has a couple different ideas of what they want to do on their turn. Now the snake player has a very, very cool advisor, and this advisor allows them that each time that you get wood or chi from the lumber mill or from the temple, we're going to gain 1 more. So since we have 2 clerks that we can place right now without having to worry about anything at all, we're thinking that we're going to do 1 at the lumber mill, and then we're going to do the second one at the temple. Because remember, when we get that lumber, that chi, it's going to be a free 1 on top of that. That's a nice bonus. Don't forget that we have our economy card, which allows us to get a free upgrade also, and we get to place out 3 more clerks. So life is actually looking really good for the snake player. That is it for all of the 2 effects. Now we get to go to the bottom effect of this card right here. And this is going to be played by the red player again. Again, the interesting thing about this game is the player controls this card, uses the top part. The middle part, if there is one, is going to be by all the opponents, and the bottom part is going to be the active player who controls this card again. And I'll turn it so I can read it out loud to you in order here. It says, during the activation step, each of your clerks in the barracks counts as 2. That means each one of my clerks can recruit 2 soldiers apiece, which is going to be very, very nice. So the nice thing is that we can resolve any location in any order we want to. We know that we have to resolve that location. So let's go and resolve that location first. We as a red player are going to say, Monkey, take your action. And Monkey will say, I will spend 2 gold, take my clerk back by doing so, and I will gain 1 more clerk, which now puts me at a total of 6 clerks I have available for me. That'll be really good for them in later turns. Now, this location cannot activate. This location cannot activate. This location cannot activate because it is not full. Remember, they have to be full to activate. So the only thing left to do is to go to our barracks. So let's go and put this out just in nice order. 1 wood plus 2 stones is going to be 1 spearman. 1 wood plus 1 wood plus 2 chi is going to be an archer. Flip it over so they're all facing the same direction. Then we're going to have 1 wood and 3 gold is going to allow us to get a cavalry horseman. And then finally we have 1 wood and 2 stone, which is going to allow us to get a spearman. Now normally 2 clerks cannot recruit 4 soldiers, but in this case we can definitely do so because we have that special power of the barracks. Let's go and get all the resources gone, and then we're going to gain some extra resources and some cool things, and some really nice things going to happen because we have some tactic cards, we have some powers, and we have some very nice abilities to take very good advantage of. So first things first, the archer will, actually let's do this easy. Let's go ahead and take care of the cavalryman first. Let's go ahead and switch the camera view. So we will put our cavalryman first right here. Actually, we have a couple different options. Do I want more resources or do I want honor? I'm thinking we want resources right now. So this is going to give us 1 chi. We're now back up to 3 chi. Those are the only resources we have at this point, but it's also going to give us 2 honor, which we will be very happy with. So red now has 2 honor. The next thing we will do is we will place a spearman right here at this location, covering up that spot. That is going to give us 1 wood resource. Now we're at 1 wood, 3 chi. We will take our second spearman, and I'm going to place him right here. Now I thought process would be to go here for chi, but wait, you'll see why I'm not doing that. Let's go and gain 2 more honor. That puts us all the way up to 4 honor, which is nice for us. And then finally, our archer is going to go right here, which is going to allow them to shoot their bow and let us take away victory points from our opponents. And let's take that spot right there. So now there's only 3 spots left before these arsonists are removed. So that's actually pretty darn good. And we're controlling a vast majority of that horde card. So when that horde is defeated, pretty darn good chance that the red player gets to claim it. That makes us super duper happy. So that is it for all that. But wait, we have some tactics cards to play, starting with Finish Them. The effect, play when you attack with any of your soldiers. If you have any of your soldiers adjacent to any of your cavalrymen, gain 3 gold. Well, I have soldiers next to my cavalrymen. Hey, that's pretty darn good. But there's a boosted effect which actually has a 0 cost on it. Play when you attack with any soldier. For each of your soldiers adjacent to any of your cavalrymen, gain 2 of any resource. By Jove, that's going to be 4 resources I can go ahead and gain right now. Oh yes, I'm going to do so. We are going to gain 2 gold. And we are going to gain 2 stone. And that will make us very, very happy. This card will be discarded, but before we discard it, we also remember that our general has a power that says each time you play a tactics card, we're going to gain 2 times face down assistance in chi. So we have 1 face down assistant. That means that we're going to gain 2 more chi. So we are at 5 chi, 1 wood, 2 gold, 2 stone. And even though we spent all those resources to bring out all those soldiers, thanks to this nice card, we got a lot of those resources back. Things are looking really good for the red player. So since none of these locations are going to activate, we'll gain our 2 clerks back. And then our card, the raised banners, is done. We will put it back on the track, and I'll flip it over so I remember not to activate it again, because next up is going to be Despotism, played by the Monkey Clan. Now the blue player, or the Monkey Clan, gets to play a Despotism card. Now remember, Despotism does have this nice bonus that if any player plays an economy card, or I should say for every economy card that's played, you're going to get to move 2 extra clerks. Now the cool thing about this game is any location that isn't full, you can actually move your clerks off of them and move them to other locations, which allows you to do some nice double dealing in this game, which is very cool. So effectively, thanks to the economy card and thanks to Despotism, we can actually move all 6 of our clerks. And just for dramatic effect, that also means that we can move this clerk right here. Dramatic effect. Okay. So we have all 6 of our clerks right here. We need to figure out exactly what we want to do. We know as the monkey player, we're going to build one of the wall sections, because we know that if we get these wall sections out there, first of all, a wall section will keep us safe from the Arsonist, which is going to be very nice. Plus, a wall section is going to give us victory points. Plus, if we can get a whole bunch of these resources sections filled up really, really quickly, we can donate resources, then activate the Great Wall, get the nice honor for donating the resources, and then burn them from the Great Wall for ourselves, kind of getting us a nice double bonus. It's a nice, smart way to play, and we have a whole bunch of clerks to do so, and we're definitely going to do that. So let's go ahead and move 1 clerk right over here, which we know we're going to place right here, which allows us to build 1 section of the Great Wall. And then all the other players are going to go, oh, we know exactly what you're going to be doing. Of course, that's the fun of the game, though. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move 1 clerk here. We'll move 1 clerk right here, which means that this location is going to activate. And then we're also going to move 1, or we could move all of our clerks right here, but then we have to worry about gaining a shame token, which may not be a really good thing for us. Although, here's the cool thing about this. We won't, because we're going to do our 1 advanced activation in any 1 location. Oh yes, it's nice and devious, but it's fun to be devious. So let's go and move all of our clerks over here like this. Everybody else is going, aha! And then they realize that we're going to do our advanced activation. So let's go ahead and do that. But first, before that happens, we get to make or let our other players, starting with the Dragon Clan, then going with the Snake Clan, get to activate 2 clerks if they want. Now, of course, what we could have done if we really wanted to was pull that clerk out there and incentivize another player to put 1 of their clerks there. But we have to incentivize them. They may not do it. So let's not even deal with it. And let's just make sure that we're going to gain all those resources. So let's go ahead and go to our opponents. And yellow gets to place out 2 clerks. But first, red gets to do so because they are currently ahead in the T order right here. So red gets to move 2 clerks to any locations. Well, we are looking at the fact that we actually have a lot of resources coming our way again. We actually have a little bit of wood. We're going to get a little bit more wood. And, you know, it'd be kind of nice to do some cool things. The only trick here is we don't know if we put right here if we're going to suffer a shame token. But the cool thing is we don't need to worry about shame tokens, because we can, thanks to this advisor right here, spend 1 chi, and we don't ever have to worry about the shame token. So we'll put 1 right here in this barracks, smiling gleefully, because we know we get to do some cool things. And then we get to place our second 1, and we're thinking that we want to put this in a place that's going to give us a chance to get some resources. We know that chi comes to us very, very easily, and we know that we have a little bit of gold. Let's go ahead and make that gold thing happen by going right there. So that's it. Now we get to go to the Snake Clan, who gets to place 2 of their workers. They are seeing that this is actually a great time to get some units out here, because it looks like this location is going to be filled up very quickly. We want to at least get a little bit of that honor going. So we'll put one of our workers over there. Now we need to figure out where we want to put our second worker. We could go right over here for the chi. We're not going to worry about that. We know we're going to get a little bit of wood, so let's just go ahead and visit this location right here. Although we get tactic cards very, very easily. So, but every time we play tactic cards, we get a nice, super duper nice bonus. So I think what we could do is go here, gain some tactic cards. And remember, every time we spend tactic cards, thanks to our general's ability of says, anytime you play a tactic card, we're going to gain 2 honor. And that will keep going up as we start getting more advisors. So let's see here. Actually, I think we're just going to go here and we're going to get 1 more worker. Cool thing about this game is this is not a game where you need a lot of workers, but sometimes it could be a good decision to get more workers. It just depends on how the game is playing out. And I think in this case, 1 more worker might be a good idea for us. So that is it for the yellow player. Now the blue player gets to activate and perform an advanced activation in any one location. We're going to do that advanced activation right here in this location. And the nice thing about the advanced activation is we can activate any location with at least 1 clerk, even if it's not fully occupied. And then we get to ignore the thing that's going to cause us the shame right here. So the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to gain resources from all our clerks and all of our overseers. We don't have any overseers, so we're going to give 3 stone. 1 stone for every single one of our clerks in that location. So blue gains 3 stone. Take the stone and add it to the blue player's very, very much growing resources. After we add the stones to the resources, we can optionally upgrade and pay the cost to place an advanced overseer in that location. It would cost us 2 wood to do so. I think we're actually okay with doing that. We will take the 2 wood and we will spend those 2 resources, and we need to figure out what kind of overseer do we want to do. Spearman, archer, or cavalry. I think we're going to start with an archer at this point. See, that's the thing is once you place out an overseer, they're stuck there, and you only have a limited amount of army soldier type units. So once I place this unit here, I cannot use it for any other purpose. So basically what I'm saying now is this player effectively only has 3 archers for the rest of the game. Of course, if you put your spearmen out there, you don't have them to attack the wall section. So that's that nice balancing that you need to do. Constantly need to be making decisions there. So now that we've done our upgrade right there, we can donate 1 resource. Well, we're happily going to donate a resource of stone, which is 1 we gained, over here to the warehouse, which is a word I could not remember earlier, because we know that we are going to build the next section of the wall. And whenever you donate a resource, you gain honor. So let's go ahead and gain 2 honor for doing that wonderful thing. If you ever forget, there's this nice little reminder here with these little arrows that points up. If you put a donation, gain 2 honor. You want to do that from the lumber mill, from the quarry, and from the mine. So just remember those are only places you can do that. Now that place is activated, all 3 of our clerks are going to come back, and now we got to pick the next section we can activate. We could activate this next, but we're going to go ahead and take some of these free resources that we're going to gain here, and this activates in player T order. So this will effectively look like this, because we have dragon, monkey, and snake in the T order. So first up, we know that the dragon player is going to gain 1 resource. They'll gain 1 wood. They now have 2 wood. That makes them kind of happy. Next up, we know that we are going to gain 2 wood because we do not have any overseers. So we will gain 2 wood as the monkey player, puts us up to 3 wood. And again, in case you forgot, we did not get the shame token here because we did that as our advanced activation. So don't think I forgot about that, because I did not. Then finally, the snake player is going to gain 1 wood. Now that is done, each of our players may optionally upgrade in T order. So red gets to decide if they want to do an upgrade by spending 2 chi to do so. Well, we produce chi very, very easily, so I will happily spend 2 chi to do so. And I think that we're going to go for a heavy archer strategy, so I don't think we're going to put an archer there. I think we're going to put a spearman at that location. I think it's going to be a really good decision for us. Next up, blue gets to decide if they want to spend the 2 chi, and they will happily do so. Spending 2 chi, and in this instance, they're going to put out a spearman. And then finally, the snake needs to decide if they want to spend 2 chi. They'll spend 2 chi. They actually have a lot of chi, and I'm thinking that they will go with, let's go with archer. I think that's going to be a good idea for them. Now that we've done that, now all of our players get to decide if they want to donate to gain 2 honor. Well, we would normally do this in player order, but red says, no, I'm not going to do that because blue, I know you're going to immediately use it. So why should I help you out? I mean, yeah, it'd be 2 honor, but I definitely don't want to help you that badly. So now the blue player gets to say, by Jove, sure, I will definitely take 1 wood of the wood I just gained, and I'll add that into the warehouse. And then finally, yellow player gets to decide they want to gain 2 honor. Well, right now they have 0 honor, as we see down here on the score track right here, but they're only behind by 2 honor. Not a big deal right now. They definitely know they need that wood for other things that they're trying to do, so they're going to decline on doing so. Now that we've done all that, we're going to return all of our clerks to their individual pools, and that will be it for that location. Now the blue player, still doing the blue player's turn, gets to pick the next location they want to activate. They can activate the barracks, or they can activate here and go ahead and build a section of the wall. I think that's what we're going to do. Let's go and activate right here. We need to spend 5 of any resources to do so. We are going to spend 3 stone, because we're going to get 2 free resources from here. That's going to be a total of 4 stone and 1 wood completely to build 1 section of the Great Wall. Let's go and add that section of the Great Wall right here. The archer will hop up onto the next higher level of the Great Wall. They'll be placed right there just so you can see them very, very easily. And since we built a section of the Great Wall, we get to gain 5 honor. We're going to go from 2 all the way up to 7 honor. That makes us very, very happy, and this clerk gets to go back home. Now we get to go to this section right here. It's the only section left to activate, and this is going to activate in T order, so red gets to go first. Red has lots of options right here. I am thinking that we're either going to go archer, which means we'll knock out 2 spots, and I think that's actually the better, well, could that be the better decision? Actually, I don't think that's actually the better decision right now. I think I'm just going to go spearman. Something's telling me archer. Something is telling me archer, but no, I don't want to go archer because that's going to leave me really, really low on cheese. So I'm going to spend 1 wood and 2 stone, and I'm going to build 1 more spearman. So I'll take the spearman and I will add it out here just like that, which will allow me to take back 1 chi from taking this location right there. I'll switch cameras just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about right here. 1 chi for taking that location just like that. I'll leave it with this view right here as the red player takes their clerk back. Now we get to go to the yellow player, who I think is actually going to build an archer. Before I do that, I did forget the Tau follower. This is one thing you're going to probably see me doing a little backtracking once in a while, because like I said, this is an extremely asymmetric game. This would almost be like playing Cthulhu Wars or something like that, or a game that asymmetric trying to control 3 factions, because every one of these factions is going to slowly gain extra power. So I might occasionally say, oops, I forgot something. In this case, I'm going to do that, oops, I forgot something. Thanks to that ability, since I did gain wood with the yellow player, I'm going to get 1 extra wood from the lumber mill. Again, sorry, but at least you remember, at least you know I'm remembering to do this, even if it just is going to happen a little bit later. So back to the yellow player activating this location. They are having a lot of things that they really, really want to do. I would love to have a horseman right now, but I would need 1 more gold to do so. And it looks like getting gold is not going to be something that's going to happen quickly enough for us, unfortunately. So I think we're going to go archer. We are going to spend 1 wood, and we're going to spend 2 chi to go ahead and create an archer. The archer will go onto the Great Wall, and when he goes out onto the Great Wall, he is going to immediately shoot, and he will take out this section just like that. That is it. We are completely done with this card right now. And now the despotism card will go back. And now we get to go to the economy card for the snake player. Now the economy card says you may upgrade 1 overseer for free, and you move up to 3 of your clerks to any location. For each work harder card on the command track, move 1 additional clerk. There are no work harder cards, so we do not get that bonus, so we're basically going to activate 3 clerks. And hey, conveniently, 3 clerks is all we got. But before we do that, I did forget to activate this section right over here really quickly, and that's what I was going to spend the gold on. So 2 gold for the yellow to gain 1 other clerks, and that will come back right here. And then 2 more gold for the dragon player, who is also going to take an extra clerk. And then that clerk will come back. Again, I do apologize. That's the trick of trying to play a fairly complex game with multiple factions. So first things first, before we get back to where we were on our economy card, we get to upgrade 1 of our clerks for, or 1 of our overseers for free. Thinking we're going to do this upgrade right here because we are seeing that we need wood, but we also need stone for our strategies, and we also need gold. Actually, we need gold. We know we need gold badly. So I think we're going to do a gold overseer. So let's go ahead and take a spearman right here. That is our free upgrade. That means that next year we're going to get that 1 gold we need, even though we just burned it. But hey, you know, that's part of the challenges and part of the fun. I now have these clerks to play. So we're going to go 1 clerk for gold, 1 more clerk for gold, and I think we might go 1 more clerk for gold because, again, we really greatly are highly desiring gold, because if we get gold, we're going to get some archers, or some horsemen. Actually, wait, I don't think I need horsemen that badly. I think what I really need might just be some regular units. Lots of things to think about. Let's go with chi, because I see that we're low on chi and that we don't want to be losing all these soldiers that we're building up, because that would be a pretty darn terrible decision. And we're not going to be able to activate anything. That's not too big of a deal, but first, all the other players in T order, so I'm a dragon and then with monkey, get to activate 2 different clerks. So we will start with dragon first. And I'll go ahead and move this card back since we don't need it out anymore now that you see exactly how things are working. So red needs to figure out exactly what they want to do and what is their goal on their turn. I think dragon is thinking about getting on that gold train as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and put 1 of our clerks right there. That means we're going to get 2 gold out of this. And wood is important. Stone is important. We don't need to worry about chi because we actually have a wonderful chi generating engine as long as we have tactic cards. Aha! We need tactic cards. Let's go ahead and go right there, just like that. Now we get to go over to the monkey player who gets to place 2 of their clerks also. We can place 1 clerk right here, ensuring that that location is actually going to go ahead and gain out resources, because they're thinking gold might be a good idea. They're kind of looking at maybe possibly a strategy of building up all the walls. That could be a really good tactic for them. And it's worth a lot of victory points, and they do have some great ways to kind of get some victory points when they do that. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to go over here and they're going to gain some chi. Now the reason why they're doing that is because I completely forgot about their advisor, and I do apologize. I am not going to do this across the entire video of doing the oops, I forgot, oops, I forgot, oops, I forgot. I try to be honest with this video and pick as random as factions as possible and basically live with consequences, because I want you to see how the game plays. What I probably should have did is I should have picked some factions that really harmonize a lot better, so I don't make these minor mistakes. But you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. But what I'm basically saying here is that we have the Tinkerer Advisor for the monkey player, which means that after your activation step, which we've already passed, you may upgrade any one advisor, or I'm sorry, overseer for 2 chi, and we actually do have 2 chi to do so. So I would have spent the 2 chi after my activation step to go ahead and get an overseer, and I think we're going to take that overseer. I would not have had that knowledge. That would be cheating, but it's the logical, well, actually no, it's not a logical thing. Let's go right there for chi. I'm thinking, actually, you know what? Got an even better idea. Let's just go just like that, because you know what? Because we can. Okay, so this is still the Snake Clan's activation right now. I know it's interesting how all the interplay of all these cards go. That's kind of the cool thing about the game here. But this is still the Snake player's activation right now, because we're still working off of this command card right here. So that means that the yellow player is going to pick which location is going to activate. Basically, there are only 2 different locations that can actually activate right here, right now. So you get to pick which one is going to activate first. They decide that they're going to activate this location first, and where this is going to go in T order, which means that blue technically will get the activation first. So the first thing that is going to happen is that blue is going to gain 1 chi, because they only have 1 clerk there at that location. Next up, the yellow player, since they have 2 clerks at that location, they are going to gain 2 chi, which is going to put them up to a total of 4 chi. Now they get to decide if they want to upgrade their overseers or not. This is going to cost gold. So unfortunately, the Snake does not have any gold to do so, but the Monkey Clan does have the gold to do so. The question is do they want to spend the gold? Because we know that we want that darn horseman, and we just got up to 3 gold. So we are going to decline also. Now that we've done that, we cannot make any donations of chi to the warehouse, so we don't need to worry about that. So the only thing that's happened is these clerks get to go back to their clans, and then we get to resolve this location here. Now again, these are going to resolve in T order, so just to make it a little bit easier to visualize, I will move the units just like that. And the first thing that is going to happen is red gets to activate first. They have 2 clerks, no overseers. That means red is going to gain 2 gold, leaving with 1 wood, 2 gold, 4 chi. Next up is blue gets to activate their clerk. And I shouldn't have pulled back the 2 clerks. I guess I should do this the right way. Blue is now going to activate. They're going to gain 1 gold. That puts them at 4. And then finally, yellow gets to gain 3 gold. The reason why is they get 1 per clerk, plus they have their overseer, which is going to give them a total of 3 gold that goes to the Snake Clan. So that's actually pretty darn good for them. Now we get to figure out if anybody wants to do any upgrades at all. I think that yellow, who definitely wants gold, is going to do an upgrade. That's going to cost them 3 stone to do so. We will discard 3 stone. Of course, I will do this properly in T order. Red first does not have stone. Blue has stone. They will spend 2 stone to also put out an overseer, and they are going to go just like that. Well, that'll kind of speed it up just a little bit. And does anybody want to make a donation? And I'm thinking blue definitely wants to make a donation over here, gaining them 2 more honor. Red doesn't want to make a donation because they need the gold. Yellow also doesn't want to make a donation because they also need the gold. That was a long, long autumn or fall. Now we get to go to winter. For the winter time, now it's time to see if any of the hordes are going to break down and manage to defeat any of the wall sections. Not likely, because we actually played very, very smart, but we're also going to see what happens when a horde is actually defeated. So the very first thing that's going to happen at the start of the winter phase is all archers, starting from the left, and I guess for you, where you're viewing, that would be from the bottom, but understand it's from the left to the right are going to activate. So if we had any archers here, they would activate. Archers here will activate, and archers here will activate. Generally speaking, archers can only attack the wall section that they stand on, but do know there's an advisor card that allows you to break that rule. It's a wonderful, wonderful advisor card. It's probably one of my favorite advisor cards, especially when I go for an archer strategy. But, so since there's no archers here, we get to go to this section, and we're going to do this in T order. So the first thing that's going to happen is this archer is going to shoot, and we're going to shoot at the Arsonist. That is going to add a wound onto this card, and there's nothing for them to shoot at, so we'd see if there's anything to shoot in this section, and there isn't. So now we go to the steps that's going to happen whenever we defeat a horde card. So the very first thing, the easiest thing to do, is just to pull off all the wounds, and then we need to pull off all the soldiers, and then we need to figure out who had the most total spots covered. Not the most amount of soldiers, but the most amount of spots covered. This one's actually pretty easy since only red had any of the spots covered. But if yellow happened to have some spots covered, for example, if they happen to have a cavalry out here, that means they effectively had 2 spots covered. So it'd be my 5 spots covered versus their 2, just so you understand how that works out. But since I have the most spots covered, I get to gain 2 honor, going from 4 to 6 honor, which is very, very nice. Next up, for every single archer that shot at that wall section, not that turn, but who had the chance to shoot, is going to give 2 additional honor. That means that red is going to gain 2 honor. That puts us all the way up to 8. And finally, Snake Clan is going to come onto the board, gaining 2 honor for the Snake Clan. Now that we figured out how much honor is going to go, we know that since the Dragon Clan did the most spots covered, they are going to gain this card. And let's have a look at this card so we see exactly what that means. Now this card right here has a total attack power of 6, which means it wouldn't have broke down the wall because this wall had a defense of 8, so it would have been okay. But the important thing is that at the end of the game, we get to gain 6 honor as long as this card is not covered up with shame cubes or tokens. If it gets at least 1 shame token on it, that means it is worthless to us at the end of the game. So we make sure that we're not putting shame there. But if shame ends up going on our soldiers, those are also worth -5 victory points in the game. So that for us is 6 victory points for the Dragon Clan. Now, all of these units would generally go back to the rest section, but before that happens, I need to kill off one of my soldiers. And we know that because of this number on the track right here. For every soldier that is going to be killed off, we need to spend 2 chi to save that soldier, otherwise they're going to die and they're going to go back into our pool. Luckily, we do have the chi to spend to save them, so I'll spend the 2 chi, That means that all of my soldiers, the 3 spearmen and the cavalrymen, are going to go back into the rest section right behind the wall. Now, before we go any further here, I do have a card that I am going to play. I'm going to play the reinforcements card here. And this says that play when you deal the last wound to any horde card. I did play the last wound card to it because my archer did the killing shot on it. I get to gain 4 honor. But there's also a boosted effect here. It says cost 2 chi. Conveniently, I do have 2 chi to spend. It says play when you deal the last wound to any horde, gain 8 honor. Well, you know what? I am happily going to do so. So that means that red is going to go from 8 all the way up to 16 honor. But wait, there's more. Because I have the ability right here in my journal that says that each time you play a tactics card, that would be a tactics card, I get chi based on the total amount of advisors I have times 2. I have 1 advisor face down right now. So those 2 chi I used to save that guy, you guessed it, I get them right back. Makes me nice and happy. Gain some victory points and nothing really changed for me. That's what we call good strategy and good tactics. Now back to our board here. If there are any hordes in this line, they would advance down. There are no more hordes left. So now the only thing we need to do is figure out if any of these other hordes are going to break down the wall. So this has a total attack strength of 6. Each barricade has a defense of 2. Defender wins ties. No hordes here. Attack strength of 6, defense of 6. Again, defender wins ties, so we don't need to worry about any of our sections of the wall being broken down. We're super happy. That's going to end the winter. Let's go ahead and start with the spring of the new year. Now, when we start the new year in the spring, the first thing that happens before the spring starts is any barricades we have built are going to be destroyed. Well, I guess they just did their job keeping back the hordes. And now we need to start building more of them. The good news is when we build these barricades, they are going to give us 2 honor for each one we build. So there is incentive to build more of these. Of course, you know, we can also build more sections of the Great Wall, which is another great defensive tool. See, their defense value is 8 versus these guys. That could be a good strategy. Of course, there are hordes that can really tear us down very quickly, especially leaders. You'll probably see a couple of those come out. Super devious, super nasty. Kind of like the Arsonist, but they kind of do their own little nasty little thing. But we did not end the game. End game victory, or the end game condition for a 3-player game is 2 wall sections fully built up, the timer is fully out, or the shame pool completely empty. None of those things happen, so like I said, it's time to start the springtime. First thing we do in spring is advance the time track. Nothing really changes for us for the time. We're still going to lose 1 soldier, and we're still going to gain 1 horde every single year, which is, you know, kind of nasty. But the next thing we need to do is we need to add a horde card. Now, since there's an opening in the horde, that horde card is going to fill that location automatically. If all 3 sections were filled up, this card would go based on what the next card said. So if all 3 sections were filled up, this card would actually go in the furthest row. That's not the case. So we're going to flip this over and we get to see the Arsonists again. Luckily, we don't need to worry about them. We got a nice great wall. We just got to worry about these 2 sections of the wall. We really, really need to defend those sections of the wall. Otherwise, things are going to get really bad for us really, really quick. So we're going to lose a couple advisors. I think you can see them on the camera there. We're going to lose the Lance Maker. We're going to lose the Mercenary Captain. The Glorious Lieutenant will slide down. The Wood Carver will slide down. And then we get to add a couple new advisors to the track. First advisor we're going to add to the track is going to be the Contractor. Each time a location with your clerks is activated, you may pay 1 chi to leave 1 clerk on this location. That can actually be pretty darn nice. You can get some good use out of that one. It's situational, but it can be pretty darn nice. Next up is going to be Librarian. Each time you play a tactics card, gain 2 honor. If you boost that tactics card, gain 4 honor. Oh my goodness gracious. Han Shi Hong, I'm butchering it. Dragon Clan could really, really use that advisor and be really, really happy with it. I think we're going to have to strive to get that advisor as quickly as possible. But now we get to move on to the first thing that happens in summer is we gain Overseer income. Now, if I remember correctly, I have somebody who gets extra bonuses during the Overseer phase. Better make sure I don't forget it this time, because if I keep retconning things, I'm even going to get annoyed with myself, and that's never a good sign, because then I have to do a lot of video editing. It's just very bad. Very, very bad. Lots of work, very bad. Fire, bad. That kind of bad. So it's this general right here, and it basically says that during the Overseer income step, I get to draw 1 tactics card. Each time I play a tactics card, I get honor. So I've not played any tactics card as a Snake Clan yet, but let's go ahead and do this during the Overseer income step so I don't forget. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 1 tactics card for them. place it down right here so you can see what it is. It's going to be Heroic Fight. Play when a horde is defeated and some really, really cool things get to happen for you. So we definitely want to make sure we get that card out there as quickly as possible. Now let's go ahead and get our rest of our overseer income. So every one of our clans is going to gain 1 wood. It's going to put dragon to 2 wood. That's going to put snake to 6 wood. That's going to put monkey to 3 wood. Next up, we're going to see that only monkey gains 2 stone. That puts monkey at 3 stone. Now we're going to see monkey gains 1 gold. And snake gains 2 gold. That puts snake all the way at 5 gold. Snake is kind of happy with that. Remember how I said that we want to get some horses? No, that's monkey needs horses. Darn it. Oh well. We can still put some good use to that gold. Now at this point, all of our players get the chance to pay off any of the shame that they may have. For every shame token you have, you may discard 2 chi to get rid of that shame token. Remember, at the end of the game, every shame token that's attached to a shoulder or a soldier is worth -5 victory points. Any shame token that happens to be on one of your horde cards that you defeated means that horde card is worth 0 points. And these horde cards can be worth quite a lot of points. Not necessarily a good thing. So since we don't have any chi to take care of, the next thing that's going to happen is our command cards are going to be going to the discard pile, and the discard pile is right up here. Now the really nice, cool thing about this game, and this is probably one of my favorite mechanics in this game, is the fact that when the cards go here in the discard pile, now all of our players in T order get to decide if they want to claim that card back. If they don't claim all of their cards in that discard pile back, it's either all or none. If they claim none of them back, they gain 2 honor for every card that's left in that discard pile. So the first year, that's 2 honor. If I don't take my cards back the second year, that's 4 more honor for a total of 6. If I don't take my cards back the third year, I'm now up to a 12 honor. If I don't do this the fourth year, I'm now up to 20 honor. And you see how long-term it's playing in this game can be worth a heck of a lot of honor points just by playing really, really smart and planning your years out over the time. So basically what's going to happen first is, the first thing that's going to happen is Dragon says, do I want raised banners back? I do not want raised banners back. I'm going to gain 2 honor. Next up, Monkey says, do I need despotism back? Actually, do they need? No, because I'm going to do work harder. I remember what I'm doing. So no, we do not need it back. So we're going to say, nope, do not need it back. You can stay in the discard pile. We can gain 2 honor for it. Then finally, Snake needs to decide if they need economy back. They don't need economy back. So they are also going to gain 2 honor. Now, they're trailing a little bit, but don't let that mean anything for you. This is definitely a game where it's very easy to do some major, major comebacks. The last time I played this game, we went into year 3. I was playing the Dragon Clan, and I was trailing by about 20 honor. I ended up winning the game by over 70 honor past player number 2. I think I had 220 honor. They're about 160, so you do the math. I really rocked it. But again, it took some long-term planning, and I basically, the entire game, never took back any of my command cards. That was worth 30 honor there alone. Really nice. We're now back in autumn. Now it's time for our players to play their command cards. So let's go ahead and have all our players play their command cards. Dragon will play out 1 command card. Snake will play out 1 command card. And then let's go ahead and figure out exactly what the monkey player wants to do. Now we looked at our hand earlier. Now we don't need to be doggedly sticking with one decision over another if it's not going to work out for us anymore. We kind of need to look at the board state and figure out work order is still going to be really, really good for us. We know that work order is going to allow us to move all of our soldiers, I'm sorry, not all our soldiers, but all of our clerks. We currently do have 2, 4, 6 clerks, which can be really, really nice. And if you see over here, we have 4 gold, 3 stone, 3 wood, and 1 chi. We probably don't want to be doing any attacking because we don't have the ability to save any of our units yet. We know for a fact, thanks to our general, we can look at our general's power right here that says each time we attack with a cavalry, we're going to gain 3 times the amount of these face down in honor. So what I am thinking is if we can get 1 of these face down, that means we're going to get 6 every time we attack with the cavalry. And don't forget that after our activation step, we get to do 1 free upgrade. So what I'm thinking is probably one of the best things to do with the monkey player is to stick with a work harder order. That's going to allow us to move 6 guys. I'm basically going to take these 6 guys. I'm going to take 1 right here to take 1 of these cards, which is going to cost me 3 gold, leaving me with 1 gold left. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fill out one of these sections, get a whole bunch of resources, and then finally I'm going to build another section of the wall. if I actually have 10 resources, I could actually build the next section of this wall right here, which is going to give me 10 more honor. Really, really super nice. And then next year I can worry about building up the cavalrymen. So that basically means that I want to use my bonus at the bottom of the work harder card to go ahead and get a free activation, assuming that somebody's going to do an attack order card. Now, looking at the board state, it's kind of easy to assume that red most likely is going to play the attack order card, because that's going to allow me to attack with all these units and either take out this card or slide all their units by using this order right here with the clerk, move them all over here and attack that location right here. It's not a bad idea for them, and the more of these horde cards they can get, the more victory points they can get. So they actually have some good strategies and some good tactics. The trick is, the thing we need to avoid right now is making sure that one of these sides do not break through the wall, because there's no barricades here, no great wall, no barricades here, definitely no great wall. So again, this is a competitive semi-co-op game. If you play Dead of Winter or a game similar to that, where there's a slight cooperative aspect of the game, you basically got the idea of what's going on right here. If we don't work semi-cooperatively to keep the hordes back, we're all going to lose, because we're all going to get tons and tons of shame tokens, which is, you know, kind of shameful. So blue plays their command card face down just like this, and now we get to reveal all of our command cards. Red plays attack order. Big shock, I know. Next up is going to be Snake with Raise the Banners. That's actually kind of a shocker for some of our players probably. And then finally gets to be blue is going to play work harder. Now we're going to figure out what order these are going to go in. Actually, the red player does not want to go first. They actually want either Raise the Banners or work harder to go off first, because what they want is they want to move one of their clerks over here, claim 2 of these tactic cards, so that way when they actually go out there and do the attack, then they get to do the attack with the tactic cards, because we only have 1 tactic card left. It's a nice surprise, and we're keeping it ready. So we say that we're going to go second. Not last, we're going to go second. We'll place our command card up there just like that. Let me spin it so you can see the attack for the red banner. Next up, the monkey player needs to decide if they want to go first or they want to go last. Well, they're thinking they want to go first because they know exactly what they want to do. Blue will go there, and of course Snake is left with, yep, you guessed it, they are left with last. Only option they have, now that we've played all those out, let's go ahead and reveal these, or actually not reveal them, let's go ahead and handle these in order. So the first thing that's going to happen is the work harder card is going to go off. It says move each of your clerks to any location. We have 6 clerks available. Clerk number 1 is going to go over here because we want to claim 1 of these cards. We know that definitely. And it says for each attack order card on the command track, you may perform an advanced activation in any one location. Well, 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 well. That means if we go right here, gold, gold, oh yes, gold, which is very, very, very nice, because we can basically go ahead and fire that off, get all the awesome gold out of doing that. Of course, we do know that the other players are probably going to take their clerks there and kind of piggyback off the gold there. So if I go just like that, they're not incentivized to do that. Or I can take all the locations, making sure that I get 6 gold. And that's a little bit super greedy. Only just a little bit super greedy. And I think that's actually not our best decision. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 over here, again incentivizing the other players to put their clerks at these locations. That way if these locations fire off, I'm going to get all the resources I need. They're all going to go to the warehouse. I'm going to build another level of the wall, and that's going to make me super duper happy as a monkey player. Because again, I'm going to get victory points here if I just keep building up the wall. It's nice and easy. Throw resources at it, gain victory points. Nice easy strategy, nice easy tactic. And of course, I'm working up towards getting that grand thing that I really, really want, is getting these horses out there to get lots and lots of honor really, really quickly. So now that we play the top half of the card, flip this around so you can see what I'm talking about here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to play the second half of the card, which is move up to 2 clerks up to 2 locations for the other players. In T order, we're going to start with the red player. First thing they're going to do is, yes, we want a tactic card. Second thing they are going to do is they're going to jump aboard that gold gravy train. We were originally thinking about going to the barracks here and building another archer, but gosh darn it, that gold gravy train is just something you cannot pass up, because the gold gravy train leads to more knights, cavalry, whatever, you know what I mean, and we definitely want more of those. So now we get to go to the Snake, who has 2 clerks that they get to place anywhere they want. They're definitely going, yeah, let's jump on that gold gravy train, because we're going to gain 3 gold out of that, and that makes us super duper happy. What do we want to do with the other clerk? I actually have a couple decisions right here. Oh no, we don't. I'm going to do it just like that. Basically stripping the blue player of using the advanced activation right there so they don't get any extra bonuses out of it. And besides, we want to ride that gravy train just as much as they do. So that's the card. Let's put it back up top. And now let's go ahead and activate these. Now, blue player gets to activate these in the order that they want. Let's go ahead and look at which one of these cards we want to take away from the other players, because we're going to place this card face down. So we're basically trying to take away a card to strip away abilities from the other player. So Librarian, each time you play a tactics card, gain 2 honor. If you boost that, gain 4 instead. Well, we know that red loves to play their tactics card, so we can be a jerk and take that away from them and watch them go, no! While we go, yay! Next up, Contractor. Each time a location with your clerks is activated, you may pay 1 chi to leave 1 clerk in that location. It has its purposes. For the strategy I'm playing right now, it's not going to be quite as good, but trust me, that card could have some good uses in some strategies. Each time you upgrade, you can donate equal to that level. That's actually pretty darn powerful. I would actually like to keep that for myself. The problem is that one is going to drop off the track here, and we're doing this as our face down card. Next up is a Glorious Lieutenant. Each time you attack with a horse, gain a tactic card. Again, we would like to have that for ourselves. So it's going to disappear. We're not going to get it. Although we might get it. It depends on what everybody else does. And we actually are going to have 2 more clerks that are going to move thanks to the monkey player. So we're going to take this card right here. Since this is our 3rd advisor, it's going to cost us 3 gold. This card will be immediately replaced, and the new advisor is going to be the Mortician. Each time at least one of your soldiers is killed, get 2 chi. This will be placed right underneath, just like that, so that's going to be a face-down advisor for us. And now that means that every time we use our ability, we gain 3 times 2 for a total of 6 honor every time we attack with a horse or cavalry. So we're going to start doing lots of cavalry attacks as quickly as possible. This clerk has been resolved. That clerk will go back into our pool. Now we got to pick the next section that we want to activate. Let's go ahead and activate this section of the board right here, and we will do this in T order. So we're going to gain 2 plus 2 for a total of 4 stone, and I'll place 1 right here because I know what I'm going to do with it. Next up is yellow, Snake is going to gain 1 stone, putting them at a total of 2. And now we got to decide if we want to do any upgrades for this location we want to. Well, it's going to be pretty darn expensive for them, but it's not that expensive for the monkey player. So monkey's going to spend 2, and I think we're going to put a spearman just there. We will discard that 2 just like that. Blue has decided not to do it, but blue has decided that they're going to make a donation. That's going to put them all the way up to 13. Yellow is not going to make a donation, so that's going to finish activating that location for all of our clerks, for all of our players in this case. We gained our honor. Now we get to activate this location. So we're going to do this in T order again. That means that the dragon player is going to gain 1 gold. That means that the monkey player is going to gain 1 overseer plus 3 clerks is going to be a total of 4 gold. Now we can start forwarding those cavalry, which is what we've been trying to do for a long, long time. Then finally, the snake is going to gain 3 gold. Snake has lots of resources. They need to start doing things with them very, very quickly. So now we get to decide if we want to do any upgrades. It's going to cost stone. Dragon cannot do it. They don't have stone. The 3 stone, no, we're not going to do it. Yellow, 4 stone, definitely not going to do it. So now we get to make a donation. We'll do this in player order. Red is not going to donate. Blue is definitely going to donate because they know what they want to do. So they're going to donate 1 gold. That's going to give them 2 more honor. And then monkey is not going to donate, even though they have a heck of a lot of gold. They're going to put all that gold to use. So all of our clerks are going to return to our individual clans. Now we get to resolve this location. Red is simply going to gain 2 tactics cards. We gain Rob the Dead and Finish Them. You got to do in the Mortal Kombat voice. Finish them! Take our clerks back. That is it for all of the locations. That is going to end the blue player's activation. And this time I am going to remember that says after your activation step you may upgrade 1 overseer for 2 chi. Unfortunately, we only have 1 chi left over. Did not plan for that very, very well. That was my error. I should have been planning a little bit better. But oh well, that's part of the strategies and the tactics of the game. Next up is going to be the dragon player activating their attack order card. Recruit 1 spearman for free. For each raised banners on the command track, recruit 1 more spearman and attack with the soldiers in the chosen wall section. Well, there is 1 raised banners card out there, which means that we gain 2 spearmen. So where do I want to attack with these spearmen? I am thinking, let's see here, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why don't we go ahead and just take out another one of these invading hordes and gain us a lot of victory points, because that seems like the smart decision to do right here. First things first is we will go right on this spot right here, which is going to give us, actually, let me look at my tactics cards really quickly in place. Smart. Place right here, which is going to give me 2 honor and a chi. I will place 1 spearman right here, which is going to give me 1 wood. Double checking, make sure you get 1 wood. I will place a spearman right here, which is going to give me 2 honor. I will place a spearman right here, which is going to give me 1 more chi. I will place a spearman right here. And I'll place a spearman right here, which is going to give me 4 more honor, making me go from 22 all the way up to 26. And then the last part of that card says here, attack with all soldiers in a chosen wall section. Well, we already know what wall section I was attacking with, which means my archer does get to activate and they get to shoot. So I managed to defeat a horde card. This is going to be very nice for me. There's a couple more victory points and nobody else can jump on this gravy train. You want to know why? Because I've already killed it, but we still got to finish the rest of this command card. So next thing it says other players may attack with 2 soldiers in chosen wall section. Pointless. Or they can each recruit 1 spearman for free. So doing this in T order, blue gets to spawn a spearman, and then snake also gets to recruit a spearman, but monkey gets to do it first. Monkey needs chi. Monkey would have loved to have had chi just a minute ago. I'm thinking that monkey is not having an easy way to get chi right now. So monkey is going to go there, which is going to give monkey 1 chi. That way we don't get cheated like that on the next upgrade. And then yellow does not need any resources. Yellow needs victory points. Yellow is going to take this spot right here, allowing them to gain 2 honor. Now it says attack with all soldiers in all remaining wall sections. That means that this would technically get to attack again. Don't need to do that. Which means actually what I could have did is put one of these guys on one of these other wall sections, which actually would have been smarter of me to do so. So I'm actually going to put him over here, which doesn't change anything. I'm still getting the same amount of honor. It just allows us to get rid of this card quicker, which would be the smarter thing. Again, semi-co-op, not fully co-op. And then that archer is going to shoot just like that. It really does not change anything. It just allows me to get the full benefits out of my attack order card. And that's going to finish that. And now that we finish that, now we can go ahead and gain the results and the rewards for doing this. So I have the majority here, which means I get to claim this card, which makes me super duper happy. That's going to be another 6 victory points for us. And the Arsonists have been removed from the game. Don't need to worry about them. After that, I'm going to gain 2 honor because I have the soldiers there. So 2 honor. Going to gain 2 honor for having an archer. Yellow is going to gain 2 honor for having an archer. Even though they didn't shoot at the Arsonist, they still get the honor for doing so. Now before we go on to the lethality step, and the lethal level right now is, the lethality step right there is set to 1, so I'm going to kill one of those guys. But before we do that, I'm going to play my tactics card. Now since I'm playing a tactics card, which costs me 0 to do it, my special ability for my general is going to give me 2 chi for doing it. Makes me super duper happy. And then since I had this soldier next to the horseman and this soldier next to the horseman, that means I'm going to gain 4 resources, of which I will take 2 gold, and I will also take 2 stone. That makes me nice and super duper happy. That card is going to go into the discard pile. Now I must spend 2 chi to save my 1 soldier I'm going to lose from lethality. I will definitely spend the 2 chi to do so because I don't want to lose any of my units yet because they're actually helping me quite a bit. And luckily the lethal level is not that high just yet, so we're pretty darn happy about that. That completely finishes out that red player's command card. Now we get to go up to the snake player's command card, and that's going to be the raise banners command card. So snake gets to move up to 3 of their clerks to any locations for each despotism on the command track. Move an additional 1. No despotism, so that means we gain access to only 3 clerks this round. We need to play smart because we're not gaining a lot of victory points. We need to start thinking about our long-term strategies because that's what we need to do. So it's about time for yellow to go ahead and start earning some victory points. So we're going to go 1 to the barracks. 2 to the barracks, because remember during this one, all of our clerks count double in the barracks and they do not take shame tokens. And for our last clerk, we know that we need wood. So wood or stone actually at this point, but I'm thinking we're going to go for wood. So we will put our 3 clerks out there just like that. Unfortunately, there is no despotism on the command track, so we cannot get 1 more clerk. So now it's up to the other players in T order to go ahead and activate 2 clerks. So red's going to be mean, cruel, and evil, and be what red does best. They're going to put 1 over here because they're going to build in the Great Wall. And then with our other clerk, we're also visiting the barracks because we're thinking that we can do some very nice devious things to get some victory points. So blue is thinking about, they also want to jump on this gravy train because they see where this gravy train is heading very, very quickly. They see a couple different hordes getting defeated and they want to make sure they get on some of these so they can also gain some of those sweet, sweet, sweet victory points. So they will put 1 over there, and then with their second one, well, they were thinking about going over here and building, but instead of doing any building, actually, they're going to build because victory points are victory points. They're going to go over here also. That is it for the command card. Now the only thing left to do is during the activation step of your turn for this serpent player themselves, they get to double the amount of clerks they have, so they can recruit up to 4, and they don't have to worry about any shame. Not that we're going to get any shame anyways, because everybody was jumping on that bandwagon super duper quick. So the Snake Clan gets to figure out which location is going to activate first, and well, all their plans went to ruin, so let's go and activate this location first. So in T order, red gets to activate first. They are going to spend 2 of their own resources, and I think I'm going to go with 1 wood and 1 gold, plus the other resources that are already out there, and we're going to build a section of the wall. Now the cool thing about this is even though I only spent 3 of my resources, I still get, actually only 2 of my resources, I get the full honor value for building up the wall. So I'm going to go from 30 all the way up to 35. We will build that wall section right there just like that, and then all these resources are spent. That's how we play smart. And now the blue player is going to build a section of the wall also. They have quite a bit of resources. They will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources right here, just like that. And they will also build a section of the wall, and that will also give the monkey player 5 honor, putting them all the way up to 20 honor. That is that section resolved. The clerks will come back home, and now the only thing left to resolve is this location. Again, this is going to happen in T order. Red first, sorry, dragon, monkey, and then snake. So first thing that the dragon player is going to do, let's see here. They can actually do some really cool things. We're actually going to spend 1 wood, and we will spend 3 gold because we're going to bring out our other cavalry. And we'll have our cavalry go over here and attack this location. Actually, let's go over here. It's going to give us 2 more honor, and that's also going to give us a chi. No cards that we can actually play in this instance, so let's go ahead and get rid of all that. Next up is going to be the monkey player. They are actually going to do an archer, I think. I think an archer is actually the best idea that they can do. So let's do 1 wood and 2 chi. And let's build an archer right here, just like that. And the reason why we're building an archer is because we want to get in on this wonderful, wonderful victory point gravy train while preventing our opponents from getting an excess amount of victory points, because we see what is about to happen here very, very quickly. So that's it for these 2 players. Now we got to go to the Snake Clan, which gets to create 4 soldiers. So soldier number 1 is going to be 1 cavalry. Do this on the view, that works so much better here. 1 cavalry. Second is going to be our 2nd cavalry. Third is going to be a spearman. And then finally the fourth one is going to be one archer. So let's go ahead and burn out all of these resources, and let's place these units out here on the wall, and let's have a lot of fun and start earning some victory points for ourselves, because we're definitely lacking the victory points, and that's something we don't want to do. Of course, I guess this is where I should give you the big caveat of that this is not a strategy video. This video 100% is just to show you the gameplay so you can see this is a game that you're going to enjoy. I'm not playing to top form right here. I'm just showing you a lot of gameplay. That's my basic idea here. Although I'm kind of trying with the red player because I'm kind of having fun with the strategy I'm doing with them. And it seems to be working pretty darn well. So first things first, we will put right there, just like that. Actually, do I want victory points? Yeah, I want victory points. So let's go ahead and shoot out the gold so nobody gets any gold. No gold for anybody. Next thing we will do is we will put out this unit right here, which is going to give us 2 gold, or 2 honor. That puts us up to 10. Hey, we actually get to show up for once. We'll go over here, which will give us a chi, and that'll give us 2 more honor. And then finally, we will go over here to this location, which I believe is a chi and 2 honor as well. So that'll be a chi, 2 more honor. That puts us all the way up to 13. Again, we're definitely not down, and we're definitely not out. So that is it for this command card for all of our players. I don't have any other locations resolved. Everybody gets their clerks back. Nobody got to play any tactics cards there because everybody was just a little bit thrifty with the way they did things, but they definitely ensured that the Great Wall is slowly getting built. Now we get to go to the winter phase. So starting with the winter phase, from left to right, we're going to start shooting in T order, which means that blue is going to fire the final shot, taking this out just like that. So let's go ahead and resolve this. Although, if only we could have moved down there, we could have got rid of that horde also. That would have been pretty darn smart to watch that happen. But let's go ahead and do this. So this comes off, and this comes off. These will also come off just like this. And let's see if we have any tactics cards that we want to play. Now remember, blue is the one, the monkey player, that actually fired the killing shot. So you cannot play any cards that says if you deal the killing blow, you can do something. So cards like Rob the Dead are definitely not going to work here. But we do actually have a heroic fight card to play. And this card says that play when a horde card is defeated. If you have at least 1 spearman here, I do, and you have at least 1 archer on the same wall section, why I happen to do so, you'll gain 4 honor. And not only that, if I happen to burn 2 chi, whoa, I happen to have 2 chi. It just happens to be right here on the border here. It says play when the card is defeated. If you have at least 1 spearman and at least 1 horse, oh, it's a horseman, darn it. Nope, that was the wrong one. I was thinking about a different card. That's over there. I kind of confused myself. That's okay. We know that I will play for the upper half, which saves me the chi. I'm still going to gain 4 victory points. So I'll go from 14 all the way up to 18 honor, which is pretty darn okay by me. Discard this tactic card, which will go into the discard pile for the tactics cards. And now let's go ahead and gain some honor. So yellow has at least 1 soldier. They will gain 2 honor. We'll put that there just for a second. Red has a soldier there. We'll gain at least 2 honor. Spearman 2, blue monkey gains 2 for having their archers up here on top of the wall. And then we know that the monkey player covered the most sections, so they're going to gain this horde card, which is going to be 6 victory points. 6 victory points for them at the end of the game. Now we get to go over here and look at the kill total. It's a lethality level of 1, which means that we must kill 1 soldier and 1 soldier unless we donate 2 chi to the cause, and both of our players will gladly donate 2 chi apiece to the cause, keeping their soldiers alive, and they will all go back to the rest area. And that's it. Finishing up our winter, the only thing left to do is to see if this can break down the wall. It has attack strength of 6 versus a wall with a strength of 8. It's not going to happen. Looks like winter is over. The only thing to figure out, Mr. Jon Snow, is that the game's going to come to an end. So we're not out of time. We're not out of shame tokens, and we don't have 2 sections of the wall fully built up, but we're working our way towards it. So we get to go move on to the spring of the new year and advance the time tracker and do all those fun, wonderful things. So now at this point, we're going to add 2 horde cards, and we're going to fill from left to right. And again, we're not going to mind the card back at this point because we're going to fill up both these sections. So section number 1, aha, assassins. Soldiers killed on this card cannot be saved. Ooh, that is such a brutal card. I foresee us not going after that one, at least not too much. And next up is going to be a leader. Now you get to see how nasty some of these cards could be, especially if we were to stack these up together. Can you imagine how nasty this is? Leader says the wall's defense is cut in half, and that means a total attack power of 10, which would be greater than the 4, because that'd be cut in half. That wall would be totally demolished. So that's nice and nasty. Additionally, assassins can be pretty darn nasty themselves because they're not stopped by barricades. They are luckily stopped by a wall. Unless we get another horde card here, so we got to make sure we start clearing things out very, very quickly. Otherwise, we're going to deal with those assassins, which means life is going to get a little bit rough for us. Let's make sure we figure out how to take care of those very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and dismiss our advisors that are going to be removed from the game. We will slide down our advisors down on the track, just like so. And the new advisors we will gain will be landowner. Your overseers give you resources except gold. Your overseers give you, oh, that's kind of nice. Basically what this says is your overseer will give you any resource, not just the resource happens to be on, except for gold. So I could use these guys, well, they give gold, so that wouldn't be a good example, but I can use these guys for wood instead of stone or something like that. So that could be really darn nice. Next advisor is going to be each time you upgrade an overseer, upgrade your chi overseer for 2 gold less. Spiritual leader. That could be kind of nice. The Gandhi card there. That'd be kind of cool. That could work out pretty darn good for us. So let's go ahead and do our income. And of course, I'm going to do the journal over here first so I don't forget it. But during the overseer income step, draw 1 tactics card. That's going to be for the monkey player. Just so I can show you, we're going to gain Emperor's Gift. Ooh, that's actually a nice one. Play when you attack with your soldiers. Double the resource rewards for 2 of your attacking units. That, wow, if we have that and a cavalry, and we do have 2 cavalry, ooh, that's going to be so darn nice. I will definitely put that to very, very good advantage. The upgrade part of it says that gain cost 2, the play when you attack with your soldiers, double the rewards for all of your attacking units. Oh, that's even better. That can be very, very powerful. I'm definitely going to abuse the heck out of that and just go straight across. Fortunately, it's only resources, not victory points, but darn it. That's still super nice. That would be 2 wood and 4 stone if I did that. I know what I'm going to be doing. That's going to be part of my strategy next turn. I'm going to have to play that very, very smart. Not to foreshadow it all, but I do have attack order. Wonder what I could be doing. Don't wonder. You know what I'm going to do. Okay, so next thing, let's go ahead and gain our actual resources. So 1 wood for everybody. 1 wood, 1 wood, and 1 wood over here. So 1 stone and 2 stone. 1 stone for snake, 2 stone for monkey, 1 gold for monkey, and 2 gold for snake. That's it for overseers. And nobody has any shame yet. That's one thing to understand about this game, a 3-player game. You don't see a lot of shame that comes across. It's pretty much maybe a couple of shame, that's about it. Is when you start playing the 4 and a 5-player game, you definitely start seeing a lot of shame. So the command cards are going to be discarded, and then in T order, our players must decide if they want to get their command cards back. If they do, they get all of them back. But if they keep them in there, now that everybody has 2 command cards apiece, that can be worth 4 honor by not taking them back. But we must do them in T order. So red must look at the remaining command cards and figure out what they want to do on their turn and figure out how they want to do it. We basically know that we want to do the work harder. We want to slide all these guys. Actually, no, I don't want to slide them. Thinking despotism, but are we really needing our 2 cards back? What do we have in the pile again? We have raised banners. Don't care. Attack order. Yeah, I don't really need it. So red says, I'm good. Don't need my cards back. I would love to gain that 4 honor. They'll go from 39 to 44 very, very happily. Next up in T order is going to be monkey. Monkey, do you need work harder or despotism back? Well, I'm going to say no because I know what we're going to be doing with monkey players. So let's go ahead and gain 4 honor. That's going to put us from 22 to 26. Yellow, I already know what they're doing. So they are also going to say, no thank you, I don't need my command cards back, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So the nice thing about this is, since this is a face-up discard pile, it's very easy to know what's in the discard pile. So now you get to the point where you start figuring out what the other player is going to be playing, because they're down to only 3 or 4 cards in their hand. Well, 4 cards in this case. So you start playing the cards that marry very well, those that give you the extra bonuses. So again, you're starting to see the multiple layers of this game. This game's like an onion. There's multiple layers to it without the tiers. Unless you get totally trounced, then a couple tiers. I think you've seen enough planning for the autumn or fall step, so I can go ahead and speed the video at this point. We're just going to start playing our cards. So red is going to play this card down right here. The Snake Clan is going to play this card down here. And then finally, the Monkey Clan, I am thinking that they're going to play that card just like that. Now, of course, there's a lot of thought process that goes into this. Basically, the Dragon player, just to show you the thought process, knows that at least one player at this table is going to play an attack order. Somebody's going to play an attack order. I mean, it's obvious. So we picked Work Harder, because Work Harder is going to give us a bonus at least if one person does the attack order, which is going to be very, very nice. The Monkey player, or sorry, not the Monkey player, but the Snake player, they're playing the attack order, which means the Monkey player is going to be doing something totally different. What are they doing? They are playing the economy cards. So now, in T order, we got to resolve these. So the red player wants to be first in this aspect because of exactly what they want to do. They want that card right there. The blue player is looking at this and saying that we definitely want to get an upgrade, we definitely want to get some resources, so we want to be second. And then the Snake player says, oh, I have to be last. But they actually kind of want to be last because they want to do some movement before they get to their attack order. And you'll see why that'll be very, very important in just one moment. But let's go ahead and start these orders in the order they need to go. So starting with the Work Harder order, that means that the Dragon Clan gets to move all their clerks, which is going to be all 6 of their clerks. It says for each attack order card, there is one. We get to execute 1 advanced activation in any one location. So the first thing we're going to do is right there, just like that. Next thing we are going to do is we're going to place 4 clerks. 1, 2, 3, and 4 clerks just like that. And then we have 1 more clerk left over. I think you know what we're going to do. Right there, just like that. We don't care about the shame tokens at this point. We have the chi, we have the ability to generate chi, we can pay off the shame tokens. We're okay with it. We want absolute mass domination here, and we want victory points, and we want lots and lots of things. So next up is going to be the Monkey player. Who gets to play their 2 clerks because of the other part of the card right here, and they need to figure out exactly what they want to do. They know that they need chi to save units because at this point they have no way of saving their units at all. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of chi generation going on. So they need to try to figure out what's going to be best for them. We're not doing terrible in victory points, but again, we're not really doing great in victory points. But we did want to jump on the gold train right there. And I'm thinking now that we're on the gold train, the next thing that we want to do is we want to figure out a way to get a horseman. I think it's time to get our horseman. Let's start doing the attack in there. Next up is going to be the yellow player, or I should say the Snake Clan. Who needs to figure out what they want to do? Well, they would have loved to get on that gravy train over there, but it did not happen. So the only thing left for them to do is, I think what we are going to do is, we're going to go here, and then we're also going to go to the temple. We need to start getting some chi generation very, very quick because that is something that's going to hold everybody back. We're going to start losing soldiers very quickly as this track starts going up and the lethality level starts going very, very high. That is going to be it for all of our players. Now we get to resolve, and the red player gets to figure out what we want to do. But before we do that, they get to do an advanced activation. I think we'll just take the advanced activation right here. Not that it really matters at this point. So in T order, red will gain 4 gold. We'll take the 4 gold very, very happily. And, well, I guess I should do this the correct way. Blue is going to get 2 gold. And then we get the chance to do some upgrades. 2 stone. I think red is going to, yes, red is going to spend the 2 stone. And they will put out a spearman right here, just like that. Blue, do you want to spend 3 stone? You do not. Yellow, do you want to spend 4 stone? You definitely do not want to spend the 4 stone. Although, again, I forgot with the blue players, I need to get chi. I keep forgetting about the chi. It's biting me in the butt. Of course, that's the hard thing about playing 3 factions well. I'm not doing it great, but at least you're seeing gameplay. Tinkerer, such a powerful card. I'm not using it at all. I'm playing very, very dumb. And I'm not afraid to say I'm playing dumb. But I need to go back with what I was doing here. So, in T order, 2 honor. Blue would happily love to also gain 2 honor. And clerk's return. Clerk's return over here, and let's go ahead and resolve the only thing left to resolve, which is going to be this location, which we'll resolve in T order. And this is why the T order is so darn important in this game. So the first thing that we are going to do is we'll spend 1 wood, 2 chi, and we will create an archer. The archer will go right up there, and the first thing the archer is going to do is the archer is going to shoot. This chi and this wood is now spent, and now red gets, well, they will get their clerk back in just a second. Now the blue player gets to activate, and the blue gets to create a unit, and they are going to create their first horseman, which is something they've been wanting to do for a long, long time, because that is going to be part of their honor generating engine. So they will create a horseman, and now remember, every time our horseman attacks, we are going to gain 6 honor every time we do so. So we will go right here, just like this, which is going to give 6 plus 2 is 8 honor plus 1 wood. And we will happily gain 8 honor, which will puts us to 36. And you start seeing that now our engine's starting to pick up just a little bit. And now the yellow player is also going to build something. They are going to spend 1 wood and 2 chi. And they're also going to build an archer. And that archer is going to come right over here. I'm thinking, shoot, is that what I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to put it right there, because we definitely want to take these guys out just like that. Correction, just like that. And that is those resources spent just like that. That is all 3 of our clerks done. All the clerks will return to our players, and now we get to resolve the death of this card over here. So the important thing that we need to figure out about the death of this card here is we need to figure out who has the most spaces covered. We see that the yellow player has the most spaces covered. That means that the yellow player is going to gain this location. So now that we figured that out, we need to figure out that everybody is going to get just a little bit of honor. So since everybody has at least 1 soldier there, that's 2 honor, and then 2 honor. Red has an archer, that's going to be 2 additional honor right there, just like that. So before we go any further and figuring things out, red is going to play a card called Rob the Dead. The effect says, play when you deal the last wound to any card, any horde card. And remember, red is one to play the last damage to this, so they can play this card. If we had 2 chi right now, we can actually make this card a lot more powerful, but unfortunately we can't. We are going to gain 2 resources. And I'm going to take those resources as 2 stone right now, which would be a good decision for me right now. Then my general's ability is going to go off, which is going to gain me 2 chi, which is going to be great, because we can use that to save our horse, which is going to be very, very nice. This will be discarded just like that. And now at this point, this is when the yellow player, since they cover the most spots, is going to gain this, which is going to be another 7 victory points for them. So they're actually doing pretty good, even though the score looks a little lower. They do have some victory points from doing all those things. So now all of our players need to save their units here. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. We need to kill off 2, because that's lethality level, which means 4 chi, 2 chi, and 2 chi, just like that. The yellow player is going to play withdrawal, which says that they can save 1 unit. If they spend a 1 chi, they get to save all of their units. So we will save all of our units. Red will spend 2 chi to save their 1 horseman. And then the blue player has no chi, so their spearman is going to be defeated and sent back to their supply. And since we played this card with the yellow player's general power does go off. That says each time you play a tactic card, gain honor. So we will gain 2 more honor. That makes us very, very happy. We are actually super duper good with that. So I do believe that does finish out that section. So this card is going to be finished. And now we get to go to the blue player's economy card and the blue player gets to make some decisions, and they need to work with some of their units and figure out exactly what they want to do with their clerks. First things first, we get one free upgrade, which we will take right there. Then move up to 3 of your guys, and for each work harder card on the command track, move 1 additional guys. Well, there's 1 work harder card, so that means that we get to move 4 of our clerks. So let's figure out exactly what we want to do with our clerks and see what we can do to start doing some really, really cool things here. I'm thinking that 3, 7, 8, 9. We are going to get some victory points, I think is what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do, is gain a lot of victory points. I'm liking that idea. Just like that. So you may upgrade, and we're done with that because of work harder. Now the other players each get to move 2 of their clerks apiece, and we're going to do this in T order, so that means that red gets to go first with their 2 clerks. Red decides that we need some chi to save our cavalry. Since we got both of our cavalry out, we don't want to risk them. Red also decides that they probably want to start getting some resources, so that's going to be them. Yellow decides that they are going to place right here, and they're also realizing that they do not like going last every single round, so they will place their other clerk right there. So that finishes that off the economy card. Now we get to resolve all of these locations. Blue gets to pick the order to resolve. So blue's going to pick this location first, and again this gets resolved in T order, which means blue is going to resolve first. Blue is going to gain 4 wood. Put 1 right there because I know exactly what I plan on doing with it. I'll put the other 3 wood right there. Yellow is going to gain 2 wood. And yellow doesn't really want to donate. They'd rather keep the wood to themselves, so we'll put the wood down there. And overseer cost is going to be 2 chi. Nobody actually has the chi to do that because we just fought a lot of battles, which burned up a lot of our chi, so we know that's definitely not going to happen. So now we get to do the donate. Well, blue or the monkey definitely wants to donate, which is going to give them 2 honor. They'll very happily donate because they're about to burn it anyways. And then yellow can decide to donate, and they're going to say, no thank you, I don't want to help you. Even though the honor would be really, really nice right now, it's not exactly what I want to do. Although, would it be a good idea? I'm going to go with no for right now. Because, yeah, I'm going to go with no for right now. Although, I did forget about their advisor, their Tau follower, which is going to give them 1 more wood. So I think I am actually going to donate it. I know it's an extra resource for them, but it's 2 victory points for me. So I'm going to take those 2 victory points. So now that our clerks have resolved, they get to go back home, and now we get to resolve this location right here. So now the blue player gets to go ahead and build another level of the wall. Now the nice thing about this is since 4 of the resources are already right here, they only need to come up with 6 resources. So we'll spend 3 wood. Nope, sorry, not 3 wood. 2 wood. And then 4 stone, because we get stone so darn easily. So that's going to be 6 plus 4 is a total of 10 resources. And since we did 10 resources, only 4 or only 6 of those we had to spend, we're going to build another level of the wall, but it's going to give us 10 honor for doing so. So we're going to go from 40 all the way up to 50, and now we have managed to tie the red player. And I am thinking that we want to do this right here because we're remembering this bow right here, which means that for every one of our archers on the highest wall section, we're going to gain victory points. So, well, that's the trick though. I'm locked in here, I'm safe. As long as I stay there and start building up archers, I think this might actually be a really, really good decision for us. Hopefully it doesn't backfire on us. But we do definitely gain the honor for doing it, and then that clerk is going to be returned. So that finishes off the command card for the monkey player. All the locations have activated. I don't think I missed anything. Oh yes, I did miss something. This is why we pay attention. Now, the monkey player gets to, the snake player gets to activate. They are going to activate this location. They're going to pick this wall section and move all of these soldiers all the way down here. Now they got their clerk back. Now I think we're done. And now we get to go with this wonderful attack order. After I burn all these resources and put them all back in the tray where they belong. Okay, so now the attack order is going to happen. The attack order says recruit 1 spearman for free. It also says recruit 1 additional spearman. I'm sorry, gotta do this properly. For each raised banners card on the command track, recruit 1 additional spearman. There's no raised banners card, so we only get the 1 spearman. And this spearman gets to go somewhere and attack wherever we like. I am thinking, because we know red is going to pew pew over here. So let's get 2 victory points out of that pew pew, because we know that is absolutely going to happen. And then we get to attack all of your soldiers in 1 wall section. So first things first, 2 honor and a chi. Next up is going to be 2 more honor and a chi. Next up is going to be sacrificial lamb number 1. I say sacrificial lamb because you know they're going to be sacrificed. I'm not sacrificing my horsemen. For 2 more. Sacrificial lamb number 2 for 2 more. And then 1 archer is going to fire. And that is all of the units on this section of the wall that got to activate. So now all the other players get to activate with up to 2, or they get to recruit 1 for free. Well, that does mean that T order, red is going to go first. They will launch right over here, which is going to give them 2 honor and 1 stone. Next up, they get to attack with a 2nd unit, and we are going to, oh, we don't have any chi to save. So instead of him attacking, I'm going to attack with my archer. Now you'd be saying to yourself, why would you do that? Well, because I don't want to lose 2 units, because we're going to lose 2 units here in a minute, possibly, but I definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm going to have my archer attack as my 2nd unit. So now the blue player gets to do some attacking. They can't really attack anywhere, so they're just basically going to recruit 1 spearman for free. And that spearman has no board locations to go on to, because we're doing a really good job keeping the horde at bay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're definitely doing it. So we will simply recruit them right there. And now we get to attack with all the soldiers and all remaining wall sections for the yellow player. Well, shoot does nothing, shoot does nothing. Hey, we got to take out a whole bunch of horde cards. This was actually really good. So now that we've resolved all those things, now it's time to go ahead and resolve these horde cards, and let's go ahead and do this properly. First things first though, yellow is going to play the Emperor's Gift. It says play when you attack with your soldiers, double the amount of resource rewards you get when you did the attacking. So I should have played this earlier. Sorry, I was doing too much talking, not paying attention. So I'm going to get 1 more chi. I'm going to get 1 more chi, so we get 2 more chi. So that's going to work out perfectly. We will be super duper happy with this. So we played a card. It says every time we play a card, we're going to gain honor. So we're going to gain 2 more honor for playing that card. Very nicely done right there. So now yellow is the only one who has any soldiers on this wall. So they're going to go up and gain 2 more chi, or 2 more honor. We're going to gain 2 more for having archers. Blue is going to gain 2 honor for having an archer on that wall section. We know that we are going to be the ones, as the monkey player gets to claim this card right here, which is going to be worth 5 victory points for us at the end of the game. Fortunately, this says that units or soldiers killed on this horde cannot be saved. So that does mean we need to kill off 2 guys. I guess we're killing off our little soldiers right here. And we're going to just have to live with it, because you know what? We're not killing off our cavalry guys, because that would be really, really dumb. So, kill off our 2 spearmen. These guys will come back behind the wall to do some resting. Now let's go ahead and resolve this card right here. So this card is going to be one of those instances where you get to see how T order again can be very, very important, because both of these players, the dragon and the monkey, covered up 2 sections, so they're tied. So tie is going to be broken by T order. That means that red is going to gain this card. So red is going to gain this card. We'll put this over in red's victory point section. And then the next thing that is going to happen, this is going to be the painful part, is we need to start killing off some units here. Did anybody have any cards that they wanted to play here? Red did the killing blow, so red would be the only one who can do some killing blow cards. Does anybody have any other cards that says play when you attack? 3 non-Jason. Nope. Would not have been able to play either one of those, so it does not matter. So let's go ahead and figure out victory points. So it'll be 2 victory points, 2 victory points, 2 victory points. So 2 and 2. Then 2 for yellow for the archer, 2 for red for the archer. And then, unfortunately, we get to start killing off some things. So, do you want to save this for 2 chi? I am thinking that that actually might be worth it at this point. So, we will save him. Red, do you want to spend 2 chi? Well, I did play a card. Or did I? No, I did not play a card. But I'll play a card now. I will play Withdrawal, so he will not die, and then I will gain 2 chi for doing so. That works out almost just as good. This will go into the discard pile like that, and then the monkey player needs to figure out if they have any chi to save. They don't have any chi to save, they have nothing they can do. So unfortunately, they are going to lose their cavalrymen, which is kind of painful, but that's what happens sometimes. Got to plan for it, got to play strategically, and you got to play really, really good. So now we get to go into the winter phase, and this winter phase is going to be very deadly for all of our players. Actually, not at all. The hordes. The Mongol hordes have been wiped out, so we need to see if we reach the end of the victory conditions. No victory condition reached here, no victory condition reached here, and no victory condition, I shouldn't say victory, but end game condition reached here. So let's go ahead and head back to the springtime. So first thing we do in springtime is we get to advance the time track. Now that we advance the time track, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to start filling up the board with horde cards. 2 horde cards to be specific, so horde card, horde card. First one is going to be the shield bearers. You've already seen them. They cannot be attached by archers. Convenient. It's actually a good location for that one. Next up is going to be the spies. Now, spies are worth a lot of victory points. Unfortunately, they're not powerful enough to break down the wall. So breaking down the wall is not something we need to worry about, especially looking at the fact that we have massive, massive armies just waiting for them. Completely waiting. Really just waiting just to stomp them. It's been kind of fun, actually. But, you know, when you play this game competitively against real players who are really trying to kick each other's butt, you don't see this kind of gameplay. But at least you're seeing how the game plays. That's kind of a good thing, at least. Next up is the advisor track is going to refresh. Refresh and refresh. Refreshed so much. Versatile warrior. Each time you attack with a horse, you may pay 1 chi to deal 2 additional damage to the same. Wow, that is such a powerful card. That's like stupidly amazing. That is just so darn amazing. You know what's even more amazing? I just realized I forgot to do that. Was the card I was going to buy for that too was the... No, I was just going to do a face down one. That's all I was going to do was a face down one. So I will take this since I forgot to do that like a goofball. Sorry, again. Trick with playing so darn many teams and trying to be smart about it. That's exactly what happens. I apologize. Next up is going to be the informant. After the overseer income step, you may exchange 1 command card from your hand with a command card from the discard pile. Wow, that is super duper powerful, especially if we're trying to gain victory points by not taking back our command cards. As you're seeing, that's a pretty valid strategy because you can see how many victory points that's going to give us here very, very quickly. So, now that I've remembered not to be dumb and finish actually up what I was doing over there, let's go back to what we were doing here. I have finished the spring. Now we get to go to summer. So, summertime, we do income. So, every one of our players is going to get 1 wood apiece. So, that's going to be 1, 1, and 1 right there. Yellow is going to get 1 stone for the snake player, and we're going to get 3 stone for the monkey player. Next up is going to be, I get a gold for the dragon and a gold for the monkey. 2 gold for the snake. And nobody has any shame tokens they need to buy off. That's good because we don't have a lot of chi to do so anyways. Sung Shi gets to draw a tactic card and they will gain Restless. Play when you defeat a horde, upgrade 1 overseer for free. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. We definitely need to figure out a way to defeat 2, 4... Oh, wow, that is going to be so nice. I need to figure out a way to get out some soldiers and some spearmen or an archer very, very quickly. I definitely think I know what card I'm going to be playing as my command card for them. But now that we've done that, now we need to decide about the command cards themselves. So, does anybody want their command cards back very, very badly? It's worth 6 honor if you don't take it back. I'm going to say no. So, go from 56 to 62, from 54 to 60, from 52 to 58, and not take our cards back. And now let's go ahead and start the fall phase. Dragon plays their command card. Snake plays their command card, and then finally Monkey is going to play our command card. Let's go ahead and reveal all these. Dragon plays Economy. Snake plays Work Harder. Monkey plays Betrayal. Now Betrayal is actually a fun card. It says copy all the effects of any other command card on the command track except Betrayal. And you pick the card you're going to copy when it comes up to your turn, which is kind of the cool thing about it. Kind of influence your decisions and how you want to play. And you can see that Economy is good, but also is Work Harder, because Work Harder, actually Economy might just be better because there is a Work Harder. So I might be copying Economy, but in T order, Red decides that they want to go first. Monkey wants to go second. And then finally Snake has no choice. They will go last. So starting with the Dragon player, we will resolve the Economy card. So the first thing it says is you may upgrade any one Overseer for free. So we don't need gold. We really need probably wood. So let's upgrade right there, just like that. Actually, is Chi more important? No, we will go right there. And it says that you may move up to 3 of your clerks to any location. For each Work Harder card on the command track, move 1 additional clerk. And there is 1 Work Harder card, so I get to move all 4 of my clerks. I'm going to go 1 right here to create some chi. I am going to go... Whoops, did not mean to do that. You know what? I'm going to go here and here just because I can, and I'm not worried about it. I can pay out the shame token because I do have the court musician. And then finally, I will also go right there. Actually, would it be smarter to do that? I think that's actually smarter. Is it? I don't know. Let's stick with it. I think that's what we're going to do. So next up is going to be the Monkey player who has 2 clerks. And they need to make some decisions. I want to play smart. Let's see here. We'll do 1 right there just like that because we want to get it on that gravy train. And let's see, we have 4 gold. We could buy another assistant. But we need another horse because we lost our horse, didn't we? We did lose our horse. So we are going to risk the shame token. Okay, next up is going to be the yellow player. Snake goes right here. And then Snake actually thinks that getting more units out there on the board is actually not a bad idea. They will also do that because they want to get an archer because they know about 1 card. That's worth some victory points. So actually A-okay for them. So let's go ahead and resolve this in Dragon's decision of order. First thing that happens is we're going to go right here. And this is going to give us 3 stone. We will take 3 stone and normally would gain a shame token, but thanks to the court musician, we will just discard 1 chi and we will take 3 stone quite happily and be done with it. Then we will gain all 3 of these back. And of course, before we're going to do that, we'll spend 1 stone over here, gain 2 honor, and do I want to do the 2 wood here? No, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Telegraphing exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to telegraph what I'm doing. Nope, I'm not going to do that. That is going to be it for that section. So next up, red is going to, it's going to resolve over here. So they will gain 2 chi, and yellow will gain 1 chi. So 2 chi, and then 1 chi for the snake. Does anybody want to do that? No, I don't think we actually want to. I'm pretty sure we don't want to. I'm actually good with that. We're good with that. We will absolutely 100% stick with that because we are actually A-okay with that at this point. So now we come over here and blue is going to go first. Blue needs to spend 1 and 3 to make another horse. And let's see here. I think we're going to go for the shield breakers because we know that that's going to be absolutely wiped out pretty darn quick. We're pretty sure of that, although there's no attack order. So it won't be attacked anytime soon, so I'm not going to worry about it. So we will go right here for 2 honor and a chi. That is our clerk. Now for this snake player. The snake has all three of their archers out. Spearmen, just like that. We'll gather all these resources in just a second. And we want victory points. No, we want resources. Gold. Okay, all these resources have been spent. This will come back as our clerk. No other sections need to be filled out, so now we go to the monkey player, whose betrayal card copies the effects of any other command card on the command track except betrayal. They are going to copy economy. So I'll move economy over here just so you can see exactly what economy does. It says, you may upgrade one for free. We need horses, which means we want gold. That is our free upgrade right there. And then since there is at least one work harder, we get to move 4 of our clerks. So let's see here. How do we want to do this, and what is going to be the smartest thing for us to do? Play smart is the big trick. 1, which will be a whole bunch of resources for us, which is good. And then 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can entice some people with the option of getting some gold. It could work, you never know. So now red gets to take their 2 clerks, and yes, red is definitely want to get on that gravy train right there, just like that. But what else does red want? There's a lot of things red wants and needs, but I think what red wants and needs is to go right there to build another level of the Great Wall. So now over here, we will do this right here, and do I do that? Here's the thing, and again, this is all part of the way the game has a lot of strategy on it. I know the work harder card is going to play next. If my opponents don't have any clerks, they can't do a lot. If I go right here, blue is going to get back enough clerks. Oh no, they're going to get it back either way, so it doesn't matter. Okay, take it back. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. This is what happens when you play a game at 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll go for the gold gravy train, because that just seems like the best idea to do right now, especially for what we can do on the next round. So that shows you what the betrayal card does. And now let's go ahead and resolve all of these locations, but blue gets to pick the order they want to do this in. Let's just go ahead and make this easy. Blue will start right here. So we have 1 resource. There is 4 resources, 6 resources, 8 resources, and a total of 10 resources right there. That will be 10 more honor, putting us all the way up to 74 honor for the red player. All these resources will be removed. Next up, let's go ahead and resolve this location right here. Again, we do this in T order. Red gains 3 wood. Blue gains 3 wood. And snake is going to gain 2 wood only. Does anybody want to make any donations? I am thinking that yes. We got to do this in order. 2 honor. 2 honor and 2 honor. Nobody wants to do any upgrades for their overseers because it's too expensive right now. And I don't think it's going to help us, especially since we don't really have the chi for it. You technically could have done it. And you know what? I think you are. No, wait. No attacks. Yes, I think we are going to do this. We will go there, which is going to cost us 3 chi. Of course, our overseer says that each time we get a wood, we gain 1 more wood. So let me make sure I do that for my overseer's power before I forget. And I'm actually okay with that. So now our clerks will all go back to their locations. Resolve this location again in T order. So we gain 2 gold for the dragon. We gain 5 gold for the monkey. And then we gain 3 gold for the snake. Snake has got a lot of money. They're becoming Mr. Moneybags right now. And I'm thinking that this would be a good time to gain some honor. So 2, 2, and 2. That, and that would be a good idea right now because we know it's going to get really expensive to start raising up these next levels. And that's going to be it for that. And clerk comes back. You are going to spend 2 gold to gain 1 more. So you get the maximum amount of use out of your work order, which you are about to resolve here in just a moment. And let's go and resolve that work order right now. So, work harder. I know I call it work order, but work harder is exactly what the card happens to be. And that means I get to move all of my clerks, which means I have 3, 6, 7 of them. I will put 1 right here because we're tired of being last in turn order. Let's see here. We're going to build a section of the wall, get a lot of mad victory points. And now we want to get some resources. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, next up in T order is going to be the red player, who gets to put out 2 clerks. We are going to put 1 clerk here and 1 clerk right here because we are liking the idea of getting resources. These stickers are not sticking very, very well. Kind of disappointed in that aspect. And then you will go right there, and you have 1 more left. Is it worth losing getting the shame? Because you cannot pay that shame off. Unfortunately, no, it's not worth losing or gaining the shame. So what I think you should smartly do is, actually, I'm going to do this only because this video is starting to get very, very long, and the whole idea of this video was just to show you a whole bunch of gameplay for the game and not make you sit through like a 3.5 or 4 hour video. Plus it's 2 o'clock in the morning right now. I think this is probably a good time to start wrapping up this gameplay video. So I'm going to do this right here. Not the best move, and normally this would not work at all because another player would say, no, we're not going to let you do that at all. So, but I'm going to do this just to wrap this up because I'm worried about the time and the length of this video. So let's go ahead and resolve all of these locations. This will also show you the different ways that the game can actually end. The game does not need to go through all 6 years. It can actually end in other different ways. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to resolve this location first because yellow gets to decide, and they actually want the resources because they want to use the resources over here. But before we do that, we actually want to resolve this location first because we want to burn these resources, and that's why we did this. So we're going to change the T order right now. And they immediately rocket all the way to the top, and they get these 2 workers back. It's a nice played move. Well, at least it's a decent move for them. So now we're going to go ahead and resolve this location right here. So we see that yellow is going to go ahead and gain 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus, not going to forget their advisor this time, they're going to gain 5 wood out of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wood, just like that. Since they are the top of the T order, they resolve now that order. Now red gains 3 wood. And then blue is going to gain, or I should say monkey. I should do this right. Monkey is going to gain 2 wood. Anybody want to make donations? Well, heck, let's go ahead and make donations for the simple fact that we will gain some honor out of it. 2, 2, and 2 honor, just like that. Nobody wants to raise up their guys. Actually, do we? Think, yes, we actually might want to do that. So let us do that again in T order. Do you have 4 chi? No. Do you have 2 chi? No. Do you have 4 chi? Why, yes, you do. And that's going to be some victory points at the end of the game. So we will definitely do that. Okay, that is finished, that is finished, and that is finished. Next up, let's go ahead and do this right here. So yellow gains 3 stone. Sorry, snake gains 3 stone. And then dragon gains 1 stone. Snake will donate 1 for the 2 honor. Dragon will do the same. Let's see here. Monkey cannot do so because they do not have a worker there, so, or a clerk, I should say. Don't have a clerk there at that location. So the only location left to satisfy is this one. And since the snake player is now the first player, they get to use all of these resources first. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. So they'll add in 4 more resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, which will be a total of 15, which will give them 15 honor. So they go from 66 all the way up to 81, putting them right behind the dragon player. And all those resources are gone, and we will build the next level up. And we'll do this just like that. And now their clerk gets to go home, and now the monkey player gets to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. See here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right there, just like that. And we will build the other top layer of the wall, just like that. And they will gain 15 honor. So I go from 68 up to, was that 83? No, 60, yeah, 68 to, math is hard when you're tired. So that'll put them all the way up to 83. Making it look like a pretty close game so far. But there's still some things left to do before we can end up the game and start figuring out all of the victory points for all of our players here. That is going to absolutely 100% finish up our fall or autumn, so now we get to go to the winter phase. And the winter phase is going to be super duper quick. Archers are going to fire, so I'll have our archers here fire, and they'll put out some ones that really doesn't matter what they do, but we're just doing this just to be sincere. Archers will fire over here. These guys actually would have fired first. Doesn't really matter. Bam, bam, bam. We're just doing this just to show the fact that we are actually playing the game honestly and following by the rules. They're going to attack. They're not going to do anything. 16 wall strength versus 6 attack. Doesn't hurt them. Oh, actually, those guys are shield bearers, so they don't take any damage. Ha! So let's not cheat. 7 strength versus 16 wall. Nothing's going to happen. So now we get to see if one of the endgame victory conditions have been met. Are we out of time? Nope. Are we out of shame? Nope. Have 2 wall sections been built in a 3-player game? By Jove, yes they are. So now we've reached the end of the game, and now we need to add up all the victory points for all of our players. So now the first thing we need to do is if anybody had any shame tokens, they would lose victory points for having shame tokens, or they lose being able to score any of their horde cards. And I just realized that the monkey did not kill a single horde, did they? Well, this is going to be an interesting thing to score. So let's go ahead and do this in the new T order and figure out what the victory points are going to be for all of our players. So first horde for the snake is 6. That brings them from, where are they don't like this track. See, this track is not big enough for multiple scoring pieces to be next to each other. These scoring pieces either need to be smaller or the scoring track needs to be a little bit more separated. It's a frustration I have with this game. One of the few I do. So I think it was actually at 81, not 80. So we're going to go from 81 plus 6 is going to be 87. Next up is going to be 7. We're going to go from 87 to 94. And then we will gain 5 more, going from 94 to 99. That is it for them. Now we go to the dragon. Dragon is going to gain 6, going from 82 to 88. 6 puts us from 88 to 94. And 5 puts us from 94 to 99. Oh, this is kind of funny. So the only thing left to do now is to score the artifacts. And this is where things get awfully darn exciting and awfully darn fun and, yes, awfully darn cool. I'm thinking red has it, but I've been wrong before. So the first thing that is going to happen, we'll score the jewel. You gain 3 honor for each one of your overseer levels. So let's go ahead and do this in T order. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3 is 15. So that puts us at 114. So we have 100 reminder, and that puts us at 114. Finally, the dragon gets to score next. We have 3, 4 times 3 is only going to be 12. That puts us at 111. Finally, the monkey has 2, 5, 6 times 3 is 18. Shoot. We were at 80. Where were we at again? Blue was at 83. You know how I know? Because I got playback. So we were at 83. So we go from 83 and we scored 18. So that's going to put us at 101, unless math is failing me today. 83 plus 18 should be 101, unless we use that new math that makes you just get everything absolutely wrong. Next up, that is going to be done for the jewels. So now we get to score. Let's skip the dark armor for just a second, because that's going to be the exciting one. Let's go ahead and score the bow. We get 6 honor for each archer on the highest built wall. So yellow, the snake, has 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 114 should be 132, unless I failed math today. And again, it is getting late, so that could be a possibility. The dragon has only 1 on the highest wall. This does not count. He is not on the highest wall section. It's for the highest built wall. Since we're tied here, that's going to be 6 more. 111 to 117. And then finally, the monkey gains 6 more, going all the way up to 107. Okay, now we get to the fun part. This is where things are going to get very, very interesting. Only score soldiers on wall sections, not in your pools, not anywhere else. It's soldiers on wall sections. This is a wall section. So let's go ahead and start with, starting first with the snake player. So we're going to get 2 honor for each one of our spearmen. So we have 1, 2 spearmen, and I'll put them right here so I know that we counted. So that's 2 spearmen. So 2 times 2 is 4. We're going to go from 32 to 36. We get 2 for each one of our archers. So we have 3 archers times 2 is 6. That's going to put us to 142. And then we're going to gain 6 honor for each one of our horse cavalrymen. So we have 2 of them, so that's going to be 12. That puts us 154 again, unless I'm failing in math. So now let's go ahead and do the dragon. Dragon's going to score 2 for every one of their spearmen. So we have 4 spearmen, 5 spearmen, so that's going to be 10. That puts us from 117 to 127. We're going to gain 2 for every one of our archers, so it's from 127 to 131. And we have both of our cavalrymen, which is going to give us 12. So we go from 131 to 143. This was such a close game. Remember what I said at the beginning? Don't worry if you're all the way in the back at the start of things, because you could come up and win right there. But let's finish scoring things. So now finally for the hapless monkey player, monkey is going to get 2 for their spearmen, 2 for their archer, and then 6 for the cavalrymen, puts them at 117. So our final scores here, after adding up all of the victory points for all of our players: Snake, who started off all the way in the back and looking like they were just doing absolutely horrible, is our winner at 154. Dragon, who came out pretty strong and stayed fairly strong for most of the game, 143. And then finally Monkey, who just kept on doing too much darn monkey business, ended up scoring 117, and that is a complete game of the Great Wall. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying the video series. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I'll do my best to get to them as quickly as I can. Also, feel free to email me off the shelf board game reviews. That is otsbgr@gmail.com. I'll do my best to answer your emails as quickly as I can. If you want to support the channel, if you enjoy the content I put out there, think about tossing $1 in the tip jar over on Patreon. This channel is 100% sponsor free. I don't have Kickstarters, I don't have sponsors. Basically means I can give you my honest review on things, but also means that all the content you see out here is basically coming out from my own pocketbook. Tossing $1 tip jar is a great way to say thanks. Tell me you appreciate the channel and say that you want to see more content coming out there. Hope you enjoyed this video series. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. I almost forgot one thing. Opinion time from everybody. You'll notice I didn't use the green screen for this. My plan is just to use the green screen for the overview video only, and maybe for the review video. How much do all of you like the green screen? Does the green screen make a huge difference? Would you prefer a nice, easy yellow background to kind of make it more of a, I don't know, they say it's more relaxing. Do you prefer that and seeing all the games in the background, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you know, I think that's pretty much the standard thing for this kind of content out there. Do you like that, or do you like seeing the green screen? Is it a nice added effect? Do you like seeing the graphics I like to put in the background? Leave your opinions down below. I appreciate any feedback. Let me know what you think. Definitely going to keep doing the green screen for the quick overview videos, but for the other ones, does anybody really care? Am I the only person who enjoys the green screen, or do you enjoy it? Please let me know. Anybody want a cat? Dirt cheap. I'm about to give him away right now because this is like the 20th time he's jumped on the table. Every time he jumps on the table, I need to back up the video, fix everything, and do it all over again.